are many sporting rivalries that can boast years of history, ferocious tensions and iconic tussles that ignite the fans to their very core. But when it comes to the battle of the mind games and the verbal exchanges in the heat of battles down the decades, the Ashes stands alone. So here are some of the most memorable Ashes housery moments. Few figures in Ashes history were despised by the opposition more than Douglas Jardine. He was the granite-jawed architect of the notorious 1932 Bodyline series, which sent shockwaves through the sport that still reverberate nearly a century later. One day, the hurricane met the tornado as Jardine met Yabba. As the name suggests, Yabba, real name Stephen Harold Gascoigne, was a heckler who became so famous that a statue was made of him. When Jardine was on the boundary swatting away some flies, Yabba yelled the immortal line, "Jardine, leave our flies alone. They're the only friends you've got here." Like Jardine before him, Stuart Broad is another figure who had a particular gift for riling the Aussie public, mainly due to his jaw-dropping survival at Trent Bridge in 2013, when he very visibly nicked off to slip and refused to walk. Broad is somewhat the modern housery king. He officially became a sorcerer in 2023 when his random bail swaps twice bought a wicket with the next ball at the Oval. 3 tests earlier, after that Carey Bairstow run-out, Broad made sure he was right in the thick of the pantomime. Wicketkeeper Ian Healy issued one of the great lines towards Nasser Hussain. When Steve Waugh told Ricky Ponting to field right under Hussain's nose, Healy remarked, "That could be anywhere within a 3-mile radius." Poor Nass. But perhaps the most poetic of sledges came from bowler of lightning bolts Dennis Lillee, about the Yorkshireman of Yorkshiremen, Geoffrey Boycott, about whom Lillee wrote this: "He's the only fellow I've met who fell in love with himself at a young age and has remained faithful ever since." Priceless.
So, we are almost ready to go. Ian Dancer here in the commentary box. It is all about whether Dean Saunders can retain the talkSPORT World Championship. To win the leg. She's got it! Gets it! Double 9! He refuses the handshake.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Where this afternoon, Andy, please tell us what's coming up.
Coming up over the next 3 hours, Stan Collymore previews the Premier League. Steve Harmison gives his verdict on day 2 at the Gabba. And we're in Washington ahead of this evening's World Cup draw.
We'll also have more of Andy's nonsense by numbers and racing driver Sam Bird on Sunday's thrilling finale to the F1 season.
There's all this, plus the clips of the week, the Forms panel, and dead baseball legend runs for New York mayor. Really?
Yeah.
In Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup.
Yeah, dead baseball legend runs for New York mayor. It's
That's
true.
Incredible.
It is 7 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Andy.
Good afternoon, Paul. Good afternoon, everybody. And what with the cricket and Chelsea on Wednesday, I haven't stopped swearing for 2 days.
Really? Well, can you please do not swear? You're live on talkSPORT.
No, privately, to myself.
Okay.
Honestly, it's Wednesday night. I haven't got over it. It's so frustrating. It's so Chelsea to go. I knew they'd do that. I absolutely knew. And it's just Battershield and Tosin. Honestly, they're not good enough to be on Wolves' bench.
Wow.
That's how poor they are.
That bad.
Tosin, I never want to see that bloke playing for Chelsea ever again.
He's not a bad player.
He's terrible. Who tries to pass it and like, control the ball in their own 6-yard box? Put your foot through it, mate. We might have got a point. We probably might have even won it.
Can you imagine the level of anger then? This is what, 36 hours on. Can you imagine what he would have been like 10 minutes after the game?
Not good.
No,
none of us were. We weren't happy about it, but never mind. We're now down to the last 4 episodes of Neighbours.
Wow.
But we've come up with a brilliant plan to extend it. We're only going to watch 2 minutes a day. It's good, isn't it?
You're going to eke it out.
Eke it out. And that way it won't be over for us.
This is like Charlie Baker watching all of the Godfather films in half-hour increments while he's on a running machine.
Oh, really?
Which is, I think,
not a great idea.
What Francis Ford Coppola intended when he edited the film.
Much so,
He very much had in mind somebody watching a running machine in half-an-hour increments. Yeah.
Very, very true. And
maybe the listeners have got some other stuff like that. Have you? If there's, maybe it's a weird viewing or listening habit, but if you've got equivalents of what Andy's going to do with Neighbours, so 2 minutes a day will eke it out for how long? Can't you just go back to the beginning?
No, I don't want to do that because I've seen them. No.
What, you've not seen them all. You didn't pick up on it until they were about 10 years in.
Very dated the way they look. No. Last time it ended, we tried Home and Away for about a week, but we didn't like it.
No.
So no, you just have to live without it.
You're right at home. You weren't very good away, were you?
That's very true. Yeah, exactly. Where did that come from? And I was reading this thing about Pierluigi Collina was talking about this thing about. The what's it called, the corners being looked at by VAR.
Yeah, he is the kind of head of the FIFA referees, isn't he? The old ref.
The Italian was, this is in The Guardian, the Italian was most strident on VAR and the award of corners, saying he lived in fear of a wrongly awarded He's pathetic, this man.
Lived in fear?
What an... I can't even use the word that you want to use.
Don't use that word.
No, because he really, these people are supposed to be custodians of the game, and they just, it's like arson sellout. I mean, what's the point, mate? You don't really believe that a 48 World Cup's a good idea. Nobody can.
Well, I mean, all the things that he railed against as a manager are suddenly fine now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely fine.
I'll tell you what, the other worrying thing is Gianni Infantino is such an
in FIFA's remit.
Sepp Blatter has given an interview to the Telegraph today, and I never thought I'd see the day where I thought, come back, Sepp, all is forgiven.
I know, really.
Worse than Blatter. Hashtag worse than Blatter.
Much worse, I'd say.
So this is what Sepp Blatter had to say. See if you disagree with any of this. Infantino appears more interested in wooing world leaders than what's right for football.
True.
Can't argue with that. The peace prize FIFA will give Donald Trump tonight is outrageous.
Joke.
Infantino has made Saudi Arabia the new directors of the sport.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yes, it is wrong, says Blatter, that FIFA suspended Cristiano Ronaldo's ban so he would be available for the start of the World Cup. Well, that's obvious.
Well,
but we told you on this show 5 minutes after it happened that he was going to be playing. It's WG Grace, isn't it? Really?
It's shameful.
Infantino ignores players by creating unnecessary competitions such as the Club World Cup.
Doesn't care.
And there we are. Sepp has said he may come back to FIFA even though he's 91.
Well,
so I never thought I'd see the day when I thought he was going to be the saviour. But I know you like a menu, Andy. Do you want a menu?
Yes, please.
This was you probably saw that the King and Queen had dinner, a big steak banquet.
It's a lovely dinner,
with the German president and his wife and lots of sort of Anglo-German
I went through the guest list. I couldn't find. I thought Thomas Tuchel would be in the guest list. So I went right through it.
He's busy, I guess. He's in the States.
He's in the States. That's why I wasn't
okay, the steak dinner. They kicked off with tartlet of hot smoked trout, at which point you normally say you are.
Exactly.
With langoustines, quail eggs, and shellfish sauce, which is not easy to say. Shellfish sauce.
Oh, I love a shellfish sauce.
61 shellfish sauce.
Peter Moore should have been invited.
Then they had Windsor Partridge, who changed his name to Windsor Davis years later.
What a great actor.
They had Windsor Partridge Supreme, wrapped, which is a John Coltrane album. Windsor Partridge Supreme, wrapped in puff pastry. You are.
I am.
With confit cabbage and port sauce.
Confit cabbage, really?
Confit cabbage. Then they had crushed carrots. You ever had that? It's really painful. See, Roy Hudd never leaves you.
What's wrong with it?
Crushed carrots and swede, which was assortment of
vegetables.
Well, they like vegetables. Alaska, blackberry raspberry ice cream, coffee and petit fours. Do you know the wine list?
I don't like a coffee late at night, but yeah, go on.
They had something called breaky bottom,
Really?
That's not after the meal. That's what the wine's called. Yeah, it's.
Did they have any German wines?
Yes, they. I'll come on to that.
Oh, right, okay.
Breaky Bottom, 410 quid a bottle.
My goodness.
I don't know how many they got through.
Oh, well.
Then they had.
You don't pay rent and all that.
They had Joe Joss Prune,
Yeah.
Which is, I think is a. Sorry, was that? Say
I
again?
said, what if you don't pay rent?
No, that's true. That's it. 120 quid a bottle. And then they had Chateau Lafleur Petrus. I mean, Petrus that's not going to be cheap, is it?
Petrus is very
Don't
expensive.
get that in Lidl, do you?
Not really.
And then they had the old Verve Cliquot.
Yeah.
So they had a good night.
Blimey.
So there we are, Andy. For Windsor Partridge Supreme.
If I only been invited. And the Duke of Kent, I don't know if he was there, but he attended the finale of the London Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, yeah.
Donatella Flick was conducting. Of course,
She likes, good Subbuteo player.
he thought Donatella Flick was a wristy volley. That's why he went in. He only goes because he thinks it's tennis.
Show us the old Donatella Flick. Anyway, you get the idea with that.
I just want a little mention, though, on a serious note.
Yeah.
Sad news about the great hockey player from 1988, Imran Shawani, scored 2 goals in the game where Great Britain beat West Germany. You remember Barry Davis's famous commentary, "Where were the Germans?" Davis intoned when
they were eating. Yeah, they were eating baked Alaska with blackberry.
When Shawani stepped in Stephen Batchelor's cross before pausing and asking, "But frankly, who cares?"
That's
a
it.
famous moment.
Yeah,
and that was him. Sadly, died quite young.
That's a shame. I didn't know that.
So I read that this morning. But great.
It's been a bad week.
Olympic
The great
memory.
Steve Cropper, session guitarist Supreme, passed away as well. I see yesterday. So we're going to have a chat with a Scotland fan. They say it's all about preparation when you go to a big tournament, and that's true of the fans.
Or the Ashes.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't bother.
Oh yeah. Well, we're going to start with that, but we are going to chat to a Scotland fan who's covered all bases ahead of the World Cup. Andy Brussell's going to join us. He's going to be part of the World Cup draw at 4 o'clock with Adrian Durham and the gang, and he'll set the scene. It's all a bit convoluted, to be honest, and it's going to go on for an hour and a half. So yeah, make of that what you will. Steve Harmison will join us as well. We're going to reflect on day 2 at the Gabba, which England really didn't cover themselves in glory. So that's all to come. We got some clips of the week for you. What else? We got all manner of other stuff besides. We'll talk a bit of F1. We'll be in Washington with our own Alex Crook. So that's all coming up between now and 4. We're here, of course, with our very good friends at Tool Station. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Tool Station.
We are almost ready to go. Ian Danter here in the commentary box. It is all about whether Dean Saunders can retain the talkSPORT World Championship. To win the leg. She's got it! Gets it! Double nine! He refuses the handshake.
Well, it's been one of those days for England, sadly. 378 for 6, Australia. England are just about still in this. I'm not sure how, because I don't think they bowled particularly well. They certainly didn't in the morning session. They focused in on their lines and, more importantly, their lengths in the afternoon session. England have been a little bit better with the ball, but they have been terrible in the field. They've put down 5 chances. It means that instead of bowling Australia out and then having all the morning session tomorrow to bat through in the best conditions for batting in the day, Australia are going to come out tomorrow with a lead already of 44, 4 wickets in hand, and with Alex Carey and Michael Neser at the crease.
Yeah, that's our cricket correspondent John Norman.
Why don't they come home now? It's going to be 5-0. Just forget it.
Okay.
Seriously.
We should send you in as a sports psychologist.
Well, there's no point, is it?
Yeah.
Waste of everybody's
As a
time.
wise man once said, drop catches, lose matches.
Yeah.
Steve Harmison joins us now, the former England fast bowler. Hi, Harmy.
Afternoon, gents. How are we?
Not too bad.
Not great.
Yeah, the body language towards the end of play was not great. They looked a bit beaten. I mean, going to have to say ice baths overnight, the bowlers, and try and come again, really.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It didn't start very good. As John Norman said there, I thought the first session was really poor. They dragged it back a little bit, but the horse was bolted, and then coming to the end, the drop catches. I've just said on the sort of the following on Ashes inquest, we're not smarter after the event when we make these comments, because nearly everybody that played cricket, been to Australia, played an Ashes series, and when we bang on about preparation, I know Ben retracted the has-been bit, but when we bang on about preparation, it is. I mean, it's tough out there. It really is. We've seen some of the headlines and everything that goes with it. But the best thing you can do is be ready, physically and mentally, in your own camp. And unfortunately, I think today has come home to roost about England's preparation. They've fielded for 73 overs. They look as though they've been in the field for 3 days.
Yeah,
as you mentioned now, the body language. You drop catches when you're tired. And when you talk about preparation's not one size fits all. Different preparation for batters is different preparation for bowlers and fielders. And the thing that annoys me like most about it is when they talk about getting the preparation right. Individually, England they've been miles away when it comes to that point of view. And other than the first day of the first Test match, the bowling has been really sort of not bang average, but it's been hit and miss. And today, if you don't take your catches, you put your bowlers under pressure, and they're just one up to it.
The plans, though, the batting plans. I mean, it's not even. It's so obvious. If the other team have got one good bowler, then you see him off. That's what you do. And Stark, he hardly ever bowls at the stumps, so you could leave virtually 90% of his deliveries, and then he'd have to bowl straight, and then you can clip him away. I don't get it. I don't get why they're driving at him at wide balls. It's like they don't know who he is. It's absolutely moronic. The way they played Stark was moronic. When you look at the other bowlers' figures and his figures, you go, "Oh, that is pathetic." I mean, it's inexcusable.
Yeah, and again, it comes back to sort of the preparation, like you say, Andy. It's not Mitchell Starc just come on the scene. Mitchell Starc took 415 Test match wickets, gone past Wazim Akram. He's coming from a different angle on a bouncy pitch. Telling you that if he doesn't quite bring it back to you and he doesn't quite get it right, it's going to go straight over past off stump, fourth, fifth stump by the time it gets to you. And unfortunately, our lot think that's we think that's drivable. And Mitchell Starc's very, very good. So look, you're right, but I think that's a sample size of where England have got it wrong. I think their bowling plans to the Australian banners on big fields. And that's the thing that you can't comprehend about, keep talking about preparation. The field size in Australia and the field size in England, the depths and pockets and corners, when you're trying to bowl bouncers at people and trying to entice them to the short ball, all of a sudden your fielder might be in the right place. And he can make up 5 yards in England. He can't make up 25 yards in Australia with the grandeur and the size of the boundaries. So I think the plans are all awry. I think their performances hasn't been the greatest. I felt for the bowlers a little bit because they tried they tried everything they possibly could. The effort was there, just unfortunately their execution, like with the bat, has been miles away.
And they weren't backed up in the field because it could have been a different story. Now, John was right. England could have been batting and they could have put Australia back tomorrow in the twilight. It might have been a different story. Now they'll be the ones batting in the difficult conditions and they're going to lose this game. It's pretty obvious. So, unless they play incredibly well in the second innings, and nothing so far has suggested they would, apart from Root, who's the only one who adopted a sort of reasonable and sensible attitude.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like when we haven't got him? If we're going to keep going down this road of, if we keep this game plan of the next captain, the next coach comes in, the next director of cricket comes in, and we keep playing this way, and we haven't got a Ben Stokes and we haven't got a Joe Root. I mean, I dread to think where we be. I mean, Root's innings was a masterclass. It was fantastic, and he needed more than just Jofra Archer to hang on with him, but. Like you say, England it would be like England to come and get 350, 400 in the third innings, because this is what this group does. But from where they are, physically and mentally, I can't see that happening.
No chance.
They've just given them a mountain to climb, and the team that, like we said at the start, that could be England, would be England, and they've done it today, I think.
If we did end up losing this 5-0, do you think McCullum and Stokes will be under pressure, Harmy?
Unfortunately, yes. I think McCullum would be. Whether McCullum and Stokes go as a package, that's another argument altogether. I would not like to see this England team led by anybody other than Ben Stokes. McCullum might fall on his sword. It's the same as they've done a hell of a lot of good things in changing the mentality of English cricket, but unfortunately they've done a hell of a lot of things that haven't helped them in the cause of actually trying to win series, especially the big series. It's all right playing against Pakistan and playing against New Zealand and people like that, but if you want to be really sort of regarded in the highest regard in the top echelons of international cricket, you've got to win your series at home. And we didn't beat India, we didn't beat Australia, and give yourselves a chance away. And I don't think we've done neither.
Nope. And lots of articles about Harry Brook and about how he's in danger of squandering his talent, and you have to say that's true. I mean, the shot he played was just, and the point he played it, I know that people say, well, that's the way he plays, but that's what's wrong with him. It shouldn't be that's the way I play. It should be that's the way I play when it suits me.
It is. It's who we are, mate, country, isn't it, really?
It is. It's Big Ange all over.
We've had that before, though, haven't we? We've had that with players before. This is how they play. I know Peterson was described as that. This is how we play. I just wonder who's talking to Harry. I really do. I wonder who's having the honest conversations with Harry Brook and talking to him about game situations and identifying passages of play when Mitchell Starc comes on, when Doggett and Nisa and the rest of the bowlers look really bang average, and you've got one bowler to face. And you're in the ascendancy, and it's now tough times because the lights are taking effect. And Mitchell Starc's coming back on. He's been waiting for 45 to an hour to come back onto bowl. And you try and drive and nick off the first ball that he faces when you're 30 not out, and Joe Root's at the other end. These are the conversations that Harry Brook needs to be had with seniority of players and of management. And I just wonder who's having them conversations, because the mantra from England seems to be, and from Harry Brook, especially in the one-day series, when they do something which is catastrophic, they just go, we'll just go harder next time. So what are you going to do? Hit it harder next time and get caught second slip as opposed to first slip? These are the conversations I hope somebody's having with Harry Brook, because if not, that's more concerning than the way he's getting out.
Harmy, have a good weekend. We'll catch up with you soon.
You too, boys.
Steve Harmison there. We'll be joined by Darren Goff in the studio on Monday, and we'll have a proper debrief of this second test.
Yeah, well, you never know. Harvey might be right. There's a chance, but it seems unlikely at this point.
Let's hope he is.
Let's hope.
So don't forget to check out the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel for all the best reaction to every day's play, including the following on podcast, which drops every day of the second test. We're going to chat to a Scotland fan who's very much looking forward to the draw and the World Cup. He has very much got all bases covered. We'll tell you more about that and look ahead to the draw in the next half hour with our European football expert Andy Brassel, who's popping in to see us.
England produced a floodlit fight back late on the second day of the second test, but still face a huge battle to stay alive in the Ashes after dropping 5 catches at the Gabba. However, no team has made as many as England's 334 in the first innings of a day-night test and lost. Australia finished the day's play on 378 for 6. Elsewhere today, 48 teams is the right number for a World Cup. So says Arsene Wenger, now FIFA's chief of global development. He's played down talk that more teams equals lower.
48 teams is the right number. It's less than 25% of the 211 countries who are affiliated to FIFA. That means 1 team out of 4 has a chance to participate.
Remember, talkSPORT will be carrying live coverage and analysis of the World Cup draw during Drive, with the official ceremony getting underway at 5. Elsewhere today, Ben Foster says he's a little concerned about the Manchester United mentality. The side drew 1-1 yesterday with a struggling West Ham. He says there's no clear path to victory when you're leading 1-0 with a few minutes left.
You can see the game out with possession by dominating the ball, dominating your personality over the other team, or you can happily sit back and you can do that kind of low block and let them have the possession, but let them know also that when you do get the chance to win the ball back, you're going to counter-attack on them.
Man United are next in action away to Wolves on Monday night, and that one's live and exclusive on talkSPORT.
And it's a night of mayhem, a night of Messi. They're the champions, World Cup winners in 2022.
For me, it's always the eye test. I think to be the best player in the world, it's got to look like Messi.
Right footed, he's hit it into the bottom left-hand corner. Mbappe has a hat-trick. He has his place in history.
I think France has a chance to win the World Cup, but they need identity into the team. You know, they need DNA, something like that.
And it is the Spanish who are the 2024 European champions.
I think if you look at Spain, it's harder and harder to find a reason not to rate them as favourites.
It's in! Scotland are going to the World Cup final!
98, long time. When it's every boy's dream to grow up talking about playing for Scotland at a World Cup.
He's in behind Neymar, he's rounded the goalkeeper, and he fires into the roof of the net. Kane, 2-0. Great ball in from Rashford. Harry Kane came to meet it.
The expectation of all the club, the history of England and the expectation level is always huge. With England, we've always got a chance.
Yes, World Cup draw is...
draw, that one.
Yeah, it was. I think it probably was. Yes, World Cup draw coming up at 5 o'clock live on talkSPORT. The show is coming to you from 4 o'clock. Adrian Durham and the gang, Stuart Pearce, Alan Pardew, Charlie Mulgrew, and Andy Brassley is going to be popping up shortly to see us. We'll bring you full and extensive coverage of the draw. And then from 7, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent are going to have a World Cup after party with lots of guests and reaction to it. Tomorrow we'll find out where and when the teams will be playing, and as our old mate Tim Vickery, South American expert, said, that's when we'll really know about the draw, because you'll know what parts of the world.
Presumably it's going to be a bit cooler in Canada than it is in Mexico, for example.
Possibly, I don't know. Anyway, our next guest has done their preparation. He's a Tartan Army foot soldier of long standing, and he's made sure he's going to be in the right place, however it turns out tonight and tomorrow. His name is Darius Nesbitt. Hi, Darius.
Good afternoon, lads. How are we doing? We all good?
We are. Now, this is on Monday. We've got a travel expert from the States joining us who's going to give tips to people looking to travel to the World Cup, where maybe they can stay in areas where it's a little bit cheaper. But you won't have to be listening to him, because you've already booked 22 hotels. I mean, you've covered every likely base. I take it it's on a cancellation sort of basis, yeah.
It's on a cancellation. I actually booked a couple more today as well.
Do you have to pay a deposit on all these, or that people are happy just to take your card?
No deposit required. It's free cancellation.
Wow. Okay.
And has it got expensive on the? If I mean, obviously you're going to cancel quite a lot of them, but do you sense that there's been a massive spike in the prices? Does it feel expensive?
Yeah, I think you'll notice it with tonight and tomorrow when the pots are made and we find out who's going where. You'll see a big jump in the hotel prices and the flights.
Have you booked in all the big cities, or are you sort of on the outskirts? What's your plan been?
Yeah, so I've booked on like the outskirts of the cities. It is quite significantly cheaper, but yeah, I've booked some in the city centre as well. I've noticed like in some cities like Miami, for example, is like actually surprisingly cheaper than some other like US cities.
What's been the most expensive of them, potentially, if you end up staying there, or Scotland end up playing there, Darius?
Yeah, Vancouver I found was quite expensive. So Vancouver is like probably one of the most expensive ones to go to.
I mean, there's no shortage of hotel rooms in any of the host cities, but so it's a bit of scalping, a bit of dynamic pricing going on, isn't it?
Yeah. You'll notice that tonight as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it cheaper in Mexico? Well, you'd imagine it would be.
Yeah, Mexico was significantly cheaper. Yeah, so Mexico I found out of the 3 countries it was the cheapest.
And based on the hotels you've booked and the ones you like the look of, where would you like Scotland to play? Have you got your eye on those rooms?
I would like Boston, New York area, Philadelphia. That sort of region I would be happy with.
That will be a good sort of... I mean, there's certain cities that will be party central for the Tartan Army. So cities like, the Celtic, the New York and Boston with the kind of Celtic links, you would imagine would be good, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it would be good. Boston would be fantastic for that, yeah.
And obviously
Canada, a lot of Scottish links in Canada.
Many people from Scotia have quite a pale complexion, so you don't want to go anywhere particularly hot, do you? The Factor 50 will be selling out across Scotland, I would imagine, before the World Cup.
Yes, especially if we're in the Texas area of Mexico. I think the temperatures need to be up to 40 degrees Celsius, so we need lots of factor 50.
Can England and Scotland?
They can. I know what you're going to say. They can end up in the same group. In some ways.
I really hope they don't.
I went to the game at the Euros, and it was a dog with fleas, wasn't it? It was a terrible 0-0. We kind of cancelled each other out. We probably hope. I'm sure you're the same. You don't want to play England. We don't want to play.
It's the only game Scotland ever tried, isn't it?
It's a bit harsh. But would you like to play England in a World Cup or not? Go all that way and end up playing England.
I would prefer somebody else, to be honest. I think if Scotland were to get England, England have got a lot of quality in their team. I think England will go really far again in this World Cup. So if we were to get England, it would probably be knockout stages if we get past that. But I would prefer somebody else. I would prefer kind of different teams to what we've had in the past Scotland.
Yeah. Have you worked out the best case and worst case scenarios? Are you in pot 3, aren't you?
Yes, we're pot 3 tonight in the draw, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've obviously looked at who you could draw. And if you think there's teams like Italy and Denmark still in the playoffs, so, that could be pretty tough as well. So, you could get lucky, but who knows?
Yeah, well, we could find out in the draw tonight as well. I think the UEFA playoff teams, if we get one of them from pot 4, would be arguably the toughest pot 4 teams that you could get available. I believe teams like Curacao and Haiti, pot 4 that, no disrespect to them, but you would prefer them over teams that we could get like Italy or Denmark, like playoff winners,
We all know what's going to happen, though. They'll go out and get Haiti. They'll lose 1-0 to Haiti, like Costa Rica all over again, and they'll probably end up beating France in the last game.
You wouldn't be surprised.
That's the Scottish way.
Yeah, of course.
How long are you intending to spend out there? So how long did you spread these hotel rooms?
So I've booked from the 10th to the 24th of June. So I've booked it, but I can amend my dates. So once I know the draw's been made, I can like look at my dates and try and adjust it.
I hope Steve Clark's not listening, because it doesn't sound like you've booked the knockout stages.
Yeah. Well, I booked a one-way flight. I've not booked my flight home yet. So,
okay. When they had the World Cup in Argentina, some people never came back. They married Argentinian girls and stayed in '78, didn't they?
That's true.
Yeah.
You can't really option flights in the same way, so you haven't tried to book flights, I take it, have you?
Yeah, so my flight that I've actually booked is from Barcelona to Boston. So I'm going from, I believe it's Prestwick to Barcelona for a night, and then going from Barcelona. When I was looking at the options around Europe, Barcelona seemed the best option rather than flying from the UK, because the prices were really expensive.
Right.
Oh, that's a good tip.
So, yes, that is a good tip. Well, as we said, we got that travel expert on the Monday. Maybe we don't need him. I think Darius has got it covered.
I think he sorted it out.
Yeah, well, look, it's been great to talk to you, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. As I was saying, you won't really know until tomorrow tea time, will you, Darius, where you're going to be playing. You'll know who you're playing, but the kind of guts of the information will be tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the draw tonight as well. I think I could see Scotland. I can sense us getting like an Argentina or Brazil. I don't think we'll get any of the host countries. I don't think we'll get England, but I can sense from pot 1 we'll get an Argentina or Brazil as like a team from that pot.
That'll be good.
That'll be great. Get in the mood. Watch that BBC. We had with big Colin Hendry. We went up and saw him in Glasgow, didn't we? We went up and did a show. It was when that documentary came out about the '98 World Cup and reliving that. Maybe give that a watch this afternoon. Get in the mood.
Yeah, that's it. Get myself all sorted for that. So get the Scotland songs on, and then all ready to go for tonight.
Good luck in the draw, and maybe we'll catch up with you again at some stage before the World Cup. Cheers, Darius. All the best.
Thank you. Good luck as well in the draw, lads.
Thank you. That's Darius Nesbitt there, Scotland, Tartan Army foot soldier. 22 hotels booked, covering all the bases, but very keen on the East Coast, aren't they, and Boston and stuff. So it is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Andy Brassel popping in to see us next. He'll talk us through the draw, which is a bit convoluted because it's FIFA, isn't it? But anyway, Andy's with us, and he'll be part of our team at 4 o'clock to bring you the draw with Adrian Durham, Stuart Pearce, Charlie Mulgrew as well. We're here with our good friends at Toolstation. Pick up your wet weather essentials today. Next stop, Toolstation.
almost ready to go. Ian Danter here in the commentary box. But it is all about whether Dean Saunders can retain the talkSPORT World Championship. To win the leg. She's got it! Gets it! Double 9! He refuses the handshake.
talkSPORT's FIFA World Cup 2026 draw preview, brought to you by the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van. Search Sprinter Service B for the current fixed price offer.
Yes, time for talkSPORT's preview of the FIFA World Cup 2026 draw, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van. The former Arsenal boss, current FIFA chief of global football development, Arsene Wenger, has been speaking in Washington ahead of the World Cup draw, and he was asked about the pretty high number of teams involved.
Now I believe that 48 teams is the right number. It's less than 25% of the 211 countries who are affiliated to FIFA. That means one team out of 4 has a chance to participate. That means still 75% of the teams are not there.
Do you think he would have said that when he was the Arsenal manager? Show of hands.
I'd love to work for FIFA. I'll say anything they want me to say. Yeah. Tremendous. Really.
Andy Brassel has joined us. He's going to be part of our team bringing you the draw in Drive today. Hi, Andy.
Hey, how are you guys?
Where does 48 teams sit for you?
Well, it's completely contrary to all the scientific evidence and eye test evidence of how modern football is. We were talking about this, weren't we, amongst ourselves just before I came on, and we were talking in something separately. Andre Villas-Boas, who's now the president of Porto, was saying yesterday he thinks the Portuguese League Cup should be abolished and they should have an Iberian Cup between Spanish and Portuguese teams. And I thought, I can't see Spanish teams loving that. Just the thing we need, more football.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's often placed from a player's point of view, in that, well, they're earning all this money, so they should just shut up and play. But whether you agree with that or not, if you look at it from a fan's point of view, are we paying less for substandard product, which we're clearly getting? No. Exactly. No, because consistency is absolutely impossible. It's demanding a lot of us in terms of time and financially. I think it's a really hard sell. It's hard on the supporters as well. There's only one group of people in football who are really benefiting from expanded formats, and it's not the players and it's not the supporters.
Kalina's saying, I'm so worried about our corner. What about a top player not being fit for the final because they're flogged into the ground?
That's more important than whether we have a second look at whether something's a corner or not, or VAR.
They've got it all wrong.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is, it's about the presence of the product rather than the quality of the product. Yeah. That's what it's about, really.
So it's taking place in Washington. It was supposed to be Vegas, but Donald Trump suggested Washington, and of course Gianni Infantino said yes. And I was just saying to you, I'm surprised it's not Mar-a-Lago. It would have made more sense.
Honestly.
But yes, it's going to go on for 90 minutes. We'll have Robbie Williams and others singing along the way. And it is a bit convoluted, isn't it? Although there's kind of 4 very distinct groups of 12, some of which will be coming through the playoffs, so we won't know everybody today.
Yes.
There are certain provisos, certain teams that can't be drawn together, aren't there?
Yeah, so the top 4 seeded teams in the FIFA rankings are actually important teams and good teams. So you're looking at the world champions, Argentina, the European champions, Spain. You're looking at England and France. They are kept apart. And so you have Argentina and Spain in one half of the draw, France and England in the other half of the draw, but they're in different quarters. So it's like the draw is quartered. So basically, if those 4 teams win their groups, they can't play each other until the quarterfinal, until the semi-finals.
Right.
And the top 2 can't play each other.
And that's a new innovation. They've never done that before.
It's based on the way the draw is seeded at Wimbledon.
Okay. And teams from the same confederation can't be in the same group, so you couldn't have, say, Argentina and Colombia in the same group.
No.
But it's different with the European teams simply because there's so many of them.
Yeah, because there are 12 groups and there are 16 European teams involved. Yeah. We know that whoever comes through the playoffs, because of course we know that a certain amount of teams, 4 teams, come through the European playoffs. So what that means is there will be 4 groups with a maximum of 2 UEFA teams in them.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned the Wimbledon draw. It does remind me, it's a bit like Wimbledon. Loads of pointless matches and Sinner and Alcaraz meet in the final. That's exactly what this is. They're talking about 64 teams in 2030, all because it's the centenary, so that's all right.
I bet
they do.
64 teams would be nuts. In terms of the groups, when you start thinking of groups of death, let's kick off with England. There are some very good sides in pot 2. And even in pot 3 and potentially in 4, as we were saying, if you end up drawing someone like Italy or Denmark, some quite tough games of teams that could come through the playoffs as well.
That is true, and I think it's natural to look into pot 4 and think of the second European team if they come from that. I think the main thing is to not get Norway from pot 3. I would be more concerned about that than pot 4. I was over in Italy at a couple of games this week, and people are very, very pessimistic actually about Italy's chances because of their poor experiences in recent playoffs, because if they didn't get through, this would be 3 successive World Cups that Italy haven't made. And of course, Denmark got turned over in that fateful final game against Scotland, so they're not feeling on top of the world either.
They should play Chiesa in defence if Italy want to
exactly.
for his recovery runs.
Left back.
But what about FIFA's stance, though, of non-political interference? They used to be so hot on this that governments couldn't get involved. Now you've got this man courting the president, and that is completely political. They seem to have gone completely against that. It's really odd.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's the thing, really. I've heard people say that the main part of the draw is tomorrow because, of course, who's playing who comes out today. We find out the venues and times tomorrow at 5 p.m. But all this relies on the goodwill of one man, doesn't it, really? Because he's already spoken, Donald Trump, about how if he doesn't feel that LA or Boston or New York are safe enough, he'll just move people from there. I had a bit of experience of this at the World Cup, the Club World Cup last summer. So the atmosphere around it was really extraordinary, and you know that things could turn at a minute. When I was there, I was in LA for a week, and the Senegalese women's basketball team was coming over, and they just decided, the state of the Department of Homeland Security, like the day before they were coming, you can't come. And there's no
There'll
reason.
Be some elements.
Senegal weren't on the ban list or anything like that. They just decided, right, you're not coming. So I don't think it's just a question of the venues themselves and how they might change at quite short notice. And we hope that's not the case, but I don't think we can deny it's a possibility. But the other bit is, what if he decides about a certain team? Like, say if he decides like Haiti aren't coming in.
Yeah.
But what about?
It's a good job Venezuela didn't qualify, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. England, could they end up playing in 3 different countries? Is that possible, or will each country be allocated a country? Because it would be a lot better to be in Canada or Mexico than in America.
Yeah, and I think this is an important thing. We won't know. Like, anything could change, really. I think the whole point about this draw format is it's full of caveats. We know how it should be, and in theory and in principle, we're not having teams from the same federation in the same group, etc., etc. But what has been clear throughout is that, especially with the venues coming out tomorrow, that it could change. We hope not. And I think you looked at this going back to the Qatar World Cup, which there are a lot of moral issues and
football-wise was a brilliant
with the Qatar World Cup. And part of that was not only the part of the season it was, which I know you're big on, Andy, and quite rightly, I think that made a massive difference to the quality. But the lack of travelling, that made a massive difference, I think, to the freshness of the players, and it made it easier for supporters as well. Now, that goes against previous World Cups. If you look at, say, the Brazil World Cup in 2014, the Russia World Cup in 2018, so much travelling. If you go back a further generation, it made sense to have a base and you have a load of games quite locally.
Yeah.
And I think environmentally, with the way the world's going, it's a really difficult sell to say, right, you should be playing like your matches like a couple of 1,000 miles apart.
There was, I mean, yes, the point was made by Tim Vickery yesterday, saying all those teams that went up north to Manaus didn't really win their games. It was a long old journey. I
went to a game at Manaus in the 2014 World Cup, and Portugal could not move after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They were on the floor. I mean, it's tropical and then some.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Club World Cup, I mean, you were there. I mean, we could just see on telly, and you saw, I think it was at least 5 or 6 games that had to be stopped because of lightning and all this.
And they're now talking about keeping subs, which apparently they did in some of the Club World Cup games, keeping the subs in the dressing room in air-conditioned comfort, not have them on the bench, which is odd because you don't get a kind of feel for the game if you're a sub, if you're just watching it on a screen in a dressing room.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big question that we can't overlook is fans as well. I mean, you talked about the conditions for the players. I mean, they had the games in LA at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, which won't be being used. Of course, it was a venue for the 1994 World Cup, but it won't be being used. It'll be the SoFi Arena in Inglewood that'll be the LA venue. But it's a bowl, the Rose Bowl, that's completely uncovered. And you know, I saw in that first game that was at midday between PSG and Atletico, you know, like children and families in distress, 45-minute queues for drinking water, all this sort of stuff. And when we're talking about the organisation of a major championship, this shouldn't be a little detail at the bottom. This should be at the top. People are paying a lot of money, especially for this World Cup. People are paying a lot of money to get in, but whether they are or whether they aren't, you can't treat people like they're an afterthought.
No. I've looked at my particular group of death would be, for England, would be from pot 2 Morocco, playing a decent side in the heat, wouldn't be great, and Norway in pot 3, and Ghana in pot 4. I mean, wow. Although, you couldn't get Morocco and Ghana in the same group.
You get a South American team.
Yeah, you could get Uruguay. Although they're not really at it at the moment.
It'd be fun then if it was Uruguay.
I mean, there's some tedious groups. We don't want the Swiss again. I mean, how often do we play the Swiss and draw 1-1?
You're having your Kevin De Bruyne moment.
Yeah.
If Wales get through, they'll meet Belgium. We all know that.
Yeah, of course. There are certain games you think, oh, not them again. You know, we don't want to play Scotland. We couldn't play Switzerland.
No, Switzerland are one of the worst because they're quite difficult and it's not glamorous.
Yeah, no, it's not glamorous. So we're here from you at 4, Andy.
Yes,
and
that's right.
It will be quite convoluted because there will be situations where a name is drawn by whoever the player happens to be, and then somebody in a FIFA or a Blazer will say, well, they of course can't go in that group because so we're going to have a lot of that going on, aren't we?
Yeah, although it's less convoluted than the Champions League draw because there are actual pre-made slots for the teams to go into. So when the teams are drawn, they'll immediately go into the group. So it's less convoluted than it would be if it was the Champions League draw, old school.
Oh, they slipped up there then.
Yes. So lots more at 4, all the build-up from 4, and then the draw itself at 5, and all the fallout with Andy and Benty in Washington for the after party. Thanks very much, Andy.
Thank you.
That was our preview of the FIFA World Cup 2026 draw, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Sprinter Van, driving businesses forward for 30 years.
talkSPORT's FIFA World Cup 2026 draw preview, brought to you by the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter Van. Got a Sprinter 906? Get a Service B now for a fixed price, expert technicians, and complete peace of mind.
5 drop catches for England on day 2 of the second Ashes test. Our cricket editor John Norman says it's a missed opportunity for Stokes and his team.
It means that instead of bowling Australia out and then having all the morning session tomorrow to bat through in the best conditions for batting in the day, Australia are going to come out tomorrow with a lead already of 44, 4 wickets in hand.
For all the reaction and analysis to a disappointing day down under, tune in to our Following On podcast. Now, we'll find out who England and Scotland have drawn from 5 p.m. with a special programme watching along on talkSPORT. Many still say that 48 teams is too many after expansion from 32, but Arsene Wenger, who's now chief of FIFA's global development, disagrees.
48 teams is the right number. It's less than 25% of the 211 countries who are affiliated to FIFA. That means 1 team out of 4 has a chance to participate.
Meanwhile, his old club Arsenal might be suffering a mini-injury crisis, and Mikel Arteta has admitted he's still not clear about who'll be available for tomorrow's lunchtime kickoff versus Aston Villa live on talkSPORT. Arteta's been asked this morning if fixture scheduling is affecting the quality on the pitch.
I don't know, I don't think we have to get to that stage, but the only thing I said is whenever it's possible to help and give the players an extra day or hours to fulfill the maximum potential, let's do it. That's it. We are ready from today for tomorrow's game, that's for sure.
And there are reports the Saudi Pro League will try and lure Mo Salah away from Liverpool with a big money move after losing his place in the starting lineup. The Egyptian international has been on the bench for the champions in their last 2 Premier League games, and boss Arne Slot says leaving Salah out will always be cause for discussion.
We have so many good players, and Mo has been such an exceptional player for us. So he's always, I don't know which word you use, but he's always in my mind to either start or to come in.
And Lando Norris says he has nothing to lose heading into this weekend's F1 season finale. He leads the championship by 12 points with Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri both in with a shout. Get more at talksport.com.
Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. We're talking F1 a little bit later on with a Formula E driver, Sam Bird. He was a Mercedes reserve driver during the Michael Schumacher days, and it's the start of the Formula E season over in Sao Paulo, so we're chatting to him later on about the big race. We can tell you that Lando Norris was fastest in second practice today, ahead of that showdown between the three of them in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
But let's kick off with the football, and it's time for our bet builder with our friends at Paddy Power. We welcome Max Thompson. We're going to look ahead to Saturday afternoon in the Premier League as Leeds play Liverpool at Ellen Road. Hi, Max.
Hey guys, how's things?
Yeah, not so bad.
Too bad.
Now, it's probably worth explaining for those who've never done one before how a bet builder works.
Yep, so we've got a bet builder here. So we've got picks from Paul, Andy, producer Sean. The people have a pick, which is the most popular bet on site at the minute. And I've also got a pick, so that comes together for a bet builder, which we'll put £10 on, and hopefully it'll win, and all the proceeds will go to our charity partner, which is the Attitude Foundation.
Excellent. Okay, I'm going to kick us off. I do expect goals in this. Neither of them are particularly defensively sound, although Leeds were the other night, much to Andy's annoyance. Both teams, yeah, both teams to score. I've gone with.
Honestly, they could have taken off 5 of their defenders. We still wouldn't have scored. Pathetic. Go on.
So that's quite a popular one, isn't it, Max? I would think.
Yeah, well, if you're looking at Leeds, it's actually happened in the last 4 games. Both teams have scored, so you'd say it was quite a good shout. And obviously, Liverpool come into it off the back of that 1-1 draw with Sunderland, and a newly promoted club here too. So I'd expect both teams to score as well.
I wouldn't put you off of Andy's one either, although it feels a bit counterintuitive. What you gone with, Andy?
Well, I've gone with a draw. I mean, it's a difficult one, this, because teams that beat Chelsea tend to lose their next game because they've put so much into it. But this is Liverpool, so they will raise their game again. But Liverpool need the points too, so I'm going for a draw.
And he seems to have hit on a system that's kind of working for him at the moment with a couple of strikers.
Well, it is if the other team doesn't bother to try. Tremendous.
I think there is a bit of an agenda in this bet builder. But anyway, the draw, Max.
Yeah, obviously quality both sides going forward. Calvert-Lewin looks good for Leeds, doesn't he? And Liverpool, their attack is stacked, isn't it? You'd imagine they'll score. So, yeah, I think they could. It could be pretty even here. I could definitely see a draw happening as well.
Producer Sean has gone with a Cody Gakpo goal anytime.
Yeah, Gakpo, very good player. Obviously Liverpool not firing too much, but he's always quite good. He scored last weekend against West Ham in that win. He's joint top scorer for Liverpool. So, if anyone's going to score for Liverpool, it could possibly be Gakpo.
Paddy's punters seem very keen on Salah, despite the eye test currently.
Yeah.
2 shots on target, they say.
Yeah, he's always very popular, isn't he? Despite his form recently, he's actually joint top scorer with Gakpo for Liverpool. And yeah, all he needs to do here is hit the target twice. He'll definitely want to improve going into AFCON. So I could see this one happening as well.
I bet, looking at your selection, Max, I think these odds are quite skinny, aren't they? Konate to commit a foul at any time.
Yeah, I wanted one that would definitely hopefully come in. But 3 fouls in his last 2 games up against Calvert-Lewin here today, who's known for holding up the ball and drawing those fouls. So I'd expect that one to hopefully land as well.
So what are we looking at across the board if these all come off?
Yeah, so it's actually quite a big one. We've got odds of around 59 to 1 with all those selections. So £10 would hopefully return £600 for our charity partner.
None of them are outrageous, but I suppose most people have gone for a Liverpool win, but off the back of, Anyway, we'll see, Max. Thanks very much. Have a good weekend.
Cheers for that, guys. Use it.
So that's Paddy Power's bet builder for today. Minimum odds 1 to 5 per leg. 18 plus begamblerware.org.
Well, they've stopped listening to this at the Attitude Foundation. They've given up.
They hate us.
They do.
They're really nice, tolerant people by definition, but they absolutely hate us. Anyway, let's hope we can pull it off this time.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus begamblerware.org.
This is quite contentious. Ian from Thrapston, he says, Andy, home and away is far superior to Neighbours, but I'm sad to see Neighbours go.
Well, that's of course fair enough.
If you've been a hardcore home and away fan, is it very? What didn't it do for you? You couldn't
do it.
You couldn't buy into the characters. I mean, Neighbours has been part of your life for 20 odd years. Isn't
That's
it?
right. Yeah. So it's kind of worse. This
28
time.
years. Yeah.
When it went the last time, you thought, oh, all right, but when it came back, you thought, oh, great, and then now it's gone again. It's never coming back.
Some people
now.
did.
Never coming back, I'm afraid.
I can't remember the last time I caught an episode. Probably when we had Dr. Carlin. When yeah. Anyway,
well, never mind.
Everything you said that you're going to watch the final episodes of Neighbours in 2-minute increments to James.
Eke it out for 6.5 weeks.
James from Armitage says, I think it's James Armitage or James from Armitage. Everything I watch with a wife is watched in 2-minute increments in an evening. I've been watching The Irishman for about 6 years now. I'm guessing because she drops off. My missus does that. Falls asleep and then you have to keep pausing it and going back again. So thank you very much for that, James. You got anything you want to share with the class, Andy, very quickly?
Yes. It was, thank goodness that Joe Root spared Matthew Hayden's blushes.
Yeah, I did
I wouldn't
mention
want him
that
running
yesterday.
about with his Farmer Giles.
No, I did point that out. I said,
bad.
The chronic hemorrhoids of Matthew Hayden, him running naked around the MCG. It said it would have been a while since you... until you went to the grapes in the fruit bowl, wouldn't it, really?
It's true.
Put you off for years.
Put you right off. I've got a lovely bit of column fodder. It's a short one, so you like it.
Yes.
This is where the person who writes the column has just got a little more to fill, but can't really think of anything, so they put something in that was just column fodder.
Yeah, yeah.
The headline, Turkey, I'm stuffed. Time for a new bird. I went for my first Thanksgiving dinner last week, and what a feast it was. Our hostess had slaved for hours to dish up turkey with all the trimmings, having just got off a plane from New York. Not only was it delicious, but now I've had one major turkey dinner, I feel it's let me off the hook. I can divert from tradition and try duck instead of Christmas for this year. Who cares? For goodness sake. Are you interested? If I had, let's say, meet her and say, do you care what I'm having for my Christmas dinner? She'd say, not really. Yeah. So why do you think we're interested in what you're having?
I suppose, I was just looking up, there's quite a lot of people on here with the surname Trimmings. Like it's a bloke called Michael Trimmings.
All the trimmings.
I mean, if you have Christmas with all the trimmings, how many Christmas dinners do they have?
There'd be a lot of people.
Yeah. I'm imagining like one of them doesn't turn up. Oh no, Maureen couldn't make it. Maureen Trimmings isn't here, so we only had some of the trimmings.
Some of the trimmings, not all of the trimmings.
Do you know what? I love my Christmas dinner with one or two of the trimmings. Select band of trimmings.
Nobody's ever said
not all of the trimmings.
Did you realise that Britain's only carpet museum is closing down?
Oh, really?
I'm just wondering if my carpet stretcher was in there.
Yes.
Brief appearance as a carpet fitter.
I was telling Charlie Baker on air that you used to be a carpet fitter, and he was quite incredulous.
He would be.
He couldn't see you kind of putting the knee in. He couldn't see you.
That's the only bit I like doing, the knee.
You'd just be a massive kind of gripper rod cuts, wouldn't you? And Stanley knife cuts.
Oh, I didn't like the gripper rod. Yeah, you're right. That's not good.
So, I mean, if you've got an aversion to gripper rod when you're a carpet fitter, I mean, you're not much good to anody, are you? I cannot imagine. Have you still got it? You think you could still do it?
No,
you
I don't
couldn't
think
carry
so
the
now.
rolls anymore, could you?
No, I don't think I could really. But, I only did it for one day. So a lot of my jobs I've only had for one day.
Maybe it's like riding a bike. Maybe you could just go back to it. I'd love to think of was it Andy not doing this afternoon show now? He's got a big old big commercial job in some offices in Clackheaton.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That seems pretty unlikely. I'm afraid you're going to have to put up with him a little bit longer. Sam Bird's going to join us, former Mercedes reserve driver, Nissan Formula E driver. Formula E season gets underway in Brazil today, so we'll touch on that, and we will look ahead to that big three-way finale to the F1 season in Abu Dhabi this weekend. It's Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs. If you want to get in touch this afternoon, talksport.com/H&J, text to 81089 or tweet to TSH&J. And we're here, of course, with Tool Station. Gear up for those darker nights with electrical and lighting offers. Next stop, Tool Station.
almost ready to go. Ian Dancer here in the commentary box. But it is all about whether Dean Saunders can retain the talkSPORT World Championship. To win the leg. She's got it! Gets it! Double nine! He refuses the handshake.
Now, you won't need telling it's a huge weekend in Formula One. 3 drivers still in with a chance of winning the championship in the final race in Abu Dhabi. F1 reporter Tom Clayton is here now with all you need to know.
The F1 season is all coming down to one final race on Sunday in Abu Dhabi to decide who'll win the Drivers' World Championship. Will it be one of the McLaren pair of Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri? Or will Max Verstappen top a remarkable season and claim his 5th title in a row? Norris leads the standings, and it's simple for him. If the Briton finishes in the top 3 on Sunday afternoon, he wins his maiden title. But if he finishes any lower than 3rd and Verstappen wins, it'll be the Dutchman who claims the championship. Oscar Piastri, despite dominating early in the season, is an outside bet for the championship, sitting 16 points behind Norris and needing a race win, and his teammate to finish 6th or below. These 3 have been the best drivers all season, and it feels fitting that such a close championship will come down to its final round, with all of them in with a shout of glory.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, it's very exciting finale of the season. It's the start of the Formula E season, and our next guest until last season was a regular Formula E driver. He was also part of the Mercedes team alongside Michael Schumacher as one of their reserve drivers. Sam Berg. Good afternoon, Sam.
Afternoon, guys. How are you?
Yes, we're good. Let's kick off with the Formula E. So we got sort of mixed emotions for you. No, for the first time not driving. How are you feeling about that? Now you're out there because you've won there before, haven't you?
I have indeed. My worst finish here in Brazil is actually 4th place, so it's been a happy hunting ground for me. But you know, being out here, it's strange not being in all the meetings as a race driver. I'm going to be doing the commentary stuff with Formula E, and I'm also doing the Nissan development and reserve driver duties. So kind of having to change my top multiple times throughout the day. But very strange so far. I'm still getting used to it.
Who's your favourite for this season? Who's I mean, you know, it's a long way to go. It's only race 1, but where would your money be going?
My gosh, it's so hard to predict in Formula E for people that are new to it. There's so many drivers that I could choose from. If I'm going outside of the Nissan family and outside the world champion, the current world champion, Ollie Rowland, then I think you'd have to look at the Jaguar drivers of Mitch Evans and Antonio Felix da Costa. They'll be strong. Even Mahindra, this team called Mahindra in Formula E, their drivers, Edo Mortara and Nick de Vries, will also be very strong. But there's so many to choose from.
So let's have a quick chat about the race this weekend. And I would imagine sort of team orders would be at the forefront of McLaren's mind. The problem is, of course, that 2 of their drivers could still do it.
Yeah, one has a much stronger chance than the other.
But there will come a point, you think, Sam, when the scenario could be that Oscar is asked to step aside for Lando.
That absolutely could happen. You're absolutely right. Lando's got good form though in Abu Dhabi. He won there last year, and he's been quickest in both free practice sessions today. So I think he's going to be going to bed tonight pretty confident that his chances of coming in the top 3 are pretty high. I think it would take something quite special for him not to be on the podium. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that Lando can do this and bring home this championship.
The last 2 races, though, the team have really let him down badly.
Yeah.
They got disqualified and then they had the wrong tactics. So, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not him and the car, it's the team.
Yeah, it must be very annoying and frustrating, especially for Lando Norris.
As a driver, it is frustrating, but look, there's a no-blame culture at McLaren. I was involved, obviously, for the last couple of years with McLaren, and that's the way that they tend to work. It wasn't a good call in Qatar. They know that, and they've addressed that. But I think Lando didn't have the pace anyway out there. Oscar was far more dominant than anybody else out at that track and should have won that Grand Prix had he pitted when Max did, and if Lando pitted at the same time, that would have been a first, second and third in that order. But yeah, Vegas was very strange. Vegas with the porpoising down the straights to get that kind of a penalty at this stage of the season was very, very challenging for McLaren. Something that they shouldn't have let that happen. They go into this race, they've still got the upper hand, but it's very challenging when you've got Max Verstappen breathing down your neck.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about him. You worked with Michael Schumacher, so you've worked with the best, and that ruthless streak, that will to win. I mean, do you see a bit of that in Max? There is. I mean, he's been there and done it. All that experience could sort of come to bear, couldn't it, over the weekend?
I mean, when I knew Michael, he was at the latter stage of his career, and he wasn't in a championship-winning car anymore. But when he was at Ferrari, he was ruthless, and you see that exact same ruthlessness with Max Verstappen. He takes a race at a time, and all Max wants to do is win every single race. I think it was 2 years ago he won 20 or 21 races in an entire season. It was outrageous how much he was winning.
You mentioned sorry.
No. He Max, of all the drivers that Lando wouldn't want to see in his mirrors, it's Max Verstappen. That he's the one guy that everybody will look in their mirrors and go, "Oh, not him," because he'll be wanting. He's got the capability of passing you.
How do you sort of stay out of... I mean, tactically, if you're Lando Norris, I don't know. Obviously, you've got to try and win the race, and apparently he's done very well in practice. He's been the fastest in practice so far. But, I mean, it's kind of balancing out to maybe staying out of trouble. I suppose it depends what's going on with Verstappen and Piastri at the same time.
It all depends. All 3 drivers, they need to finish the race if they're going to keep their championship hopes alive. There's 2 trains of thoughts, I think, for Lando. If he's got the pace, why not lead from the front and try and pull away and dominate the race? Or do you settle in, let the other 2 overtake you, or sit in third comfortably and just sit there and have a boring race in third place, which is maybe a little bit more risky than leading from the front?
And anything can happen to a car. I was reading today they were going over those moments where people have... The Kimi Raikkonen moment, of course, is front and centre, but when Nigel Mansell got a puncher in 1986 and Prost won the title, I mean, anything can happen in a race, can't it?
Anything can happen. Look, there's the potential that, all 3 could come a cropper at turn 1. I mean, these things have happened. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen famously fought the world title out when eventually Max won the world title on that last lap, his first world title on the last lap in Abu Dhabi. So these things can happen in motorsport. I just hope for Lando's sake that it's a nice, clean weekend and he gets a smooth ride to win his first world title.
Excellent.
That's it. I wonder if this will be Lewis's last race. This has been a bit of a disaster, hasn't it?
Just a quick one on that, Sam, before we let you go. I've seen a couple of opinion pieces saying that maybe he should call it a day. He's kind of a very frustrated figure. He said he hasn't enjoyed this year and he's not looking forward to next year, which, if you're Ferrari, is probably not music to your ears. How do you view it?
He's one of the greatest of all time. He will call an end to his career when he's good and ready. I think he'll reset at the end of this year. He'll go again next year. He will want to give the 2026 regulation car a go. And if Ferrari are competitive, you'll see a reignited Lewis Hamilton, somebody that is a force to be reckoned with still in Formula 1.
Okay.
Well, enjoy your new role in Formula E. Good to talk to you, Sam. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
There we are, Sam Bird, there, former Formula E driver now, working with Nissan, and indeed one of the commentators. It's a huge weekend for motorsport, with the F1 title decider on Sunday and the first round of the Formula E season on Saturday evening. We're going to bring you every race of the new season live across the talkSPORT network, with behind-the-scenes driver interviews and all the big overtakes, crashes and celebrations on the talkSPORT Driving YouTube channel. Stan Collymore joins us next. We'll look at some of the big talking points going into the weekend. The Falls panel, these are the games we're covering. We'd like you to join us in 15 minutes and represent the talkSPORT listeners and get some points to move you up the table. Aston Villa v Arsenal. We kick off our weekend with that one tomorrow lunchtime. Big game. Bournemouth Chelsea. And Wolves Manchester United. They're the games we're doing today. 03717 223344. 03717 223344. Call us now. We'll call you back at 2:45. We'll just need you for 10 minutes. But as we say, stand up next.
England produce a floodlit fight back late on the second day of the second test, but still face a huge battle to stay alive in the Ashes after dropping 5 catches at the Gabba. However, no team has made as many as England's 334 in the first innings of a day-night test and lost. Australia finished the day's play on 378 for 6. Elsewhere today, 48 teams is the right number for a World Cup. So says Arsene Wenger, now FIFA's chief of global development. He's played down talk that more teams equals lower.
48 teams is the right number. It's less than 25% of the 211 countries who are affiliated to FIFA. That means 1 team out of 4 has a chance to participate.
Remember, talkSPORT will be carrying live coverage and analysis of the World Cup draw during drive, with the official ceremony getting underway at 5. Elsewhere today, Ben Foster says he's a little concerned about the Manchester United mentality. The side drew 1-1 yesterday with a struggling West Ham. He says there's no clear path to victory when you're leading 1-0 with a few minutes left.
You can see the game out with possession, by dominating the ball, dominating your personality over the other team, or you can happily sit back and you can do that kind of low block and let them have the possession, but let them know also that when you do get the chance to win the ball back, you're going to counter-attack on them.
Man United are next in action away to Wolves on Monday night, and that one's live and exclusive on talkSPORT.
Yes, it is Hawksbee Jacobs. Sports panel coming up a little bit later on. We're just hearing from Sinead there that maybe there'll be fewer England fans travelling to the States because of the cost. Chris, who's a listener who lives in the States, has been in touch, Andy, hasn't he?
He has, because I asked him, he said he was really looking forward to it, and I asked him if he's got tickets. He said, I have. I said, were they expensive? This is what he said. 2 tickets for the Philadelphia game were $360 each.
Wow.
We're talking about a game of football here, not a Broadway musical.
$360 just for one of the group games.
Yeah. So $720, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then 2 tickets for New Jersey were $500 each.
And they're not necessarily sort of hospitality
no, upper level. He said, no, just normal tickets. He said, if I wanted tickets for the lower levels, they cost over $1,200 and upwards, depending on what zone you wanted.
Wowee.
Well, that's one for the real fans, isn't
and haven't they? They were toying with dynamic pricing. Anyway, we're going to have a chat with Stan Collymore, find out if he plans to go, because he's that Canuck flag. We'll look forward to that fluttering in the breeze in Philadelphia or Guadalajara. But first, let's hear from Aston Villa and England midfielder Morgan Rogers. He's been chatting to our very own Angelina Kelly at the launch of Puma's new flagship store in London. Let's have a listen to what he had to say.
I was going to say that whole media perception, because there's a lot of talk and people thinking that Jude didn't want to come off the pitch and stuff like that, but for me it just comes across more like you're all very passionate. He's a passionate person and he wants to do the best job. Is that probably more accurate?
Well, I've known him pretty much all my life and I know exactly what he's like, and he's just got a passion and a drive and a desire to win and to be the best player, and that's why he's doing so well. That's why he's where he is because of his...
That's why he's playing for Real Madrid?
It's his mentality, it's his attitude, it's all them things above, and he just wants to win and shine and do well on the biggest stages, and he's already done so much in his career and he wants to do more. He wants to be the guy to lift the World Cup for England and to score winning goals and to take games away from opposition teams, and he's there for a reason, and that's all it is. He's a great person to be around. He's an unbelievable player, and we should be lucky that we have a player like that on our side competing for England as a nation, because he's world class.
There we are, Morgan Rogers chatting about Jude Bellingham. He's duking out with him, of course, for that shirt and starting position.
Been a good season.
Stan Collymore joins us now. Hi, Stan.
Paul, Andy.
That's bound to happen in your career, isn't it? There might have been people in the dressing room that you really liked, but effectively they were trying to nick your place. So you have to kind of park that, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I say, they've known each other from sort of West Midlands junior football all the way up to international scenes. So I don't think Morgan Rogers will be shedding any tears if he got the nod ahead of Jude Bellingham and vice versa. I think that what it does go to show is that there are lots of players in that England group that have played against each other, have known each other for a long, long time. Of course, that's more par for the course now because, you're playing underage football against these guys. You're exposed to each other very, very young. You think of the sort of Mason Mounts and Declan Rices. They knew each other very, very young ages. So I think that England won't have a problem in that regard. And I think that, you know, as the season starts to bubble up once we get into the new year, from a Villa perspective, obviously a big game against Arsenal at the weekend, that for Morgan Rogers and for Ollie Watkins, that's refound his goal-scoring boots, that players stay fit, play healthy, and put every bit of pressure on who we imagine to be the starting 11 for England come the World Cup.
And with those conditions, we're going to need everybody. You know, it's not just your starting 11. You need all the 5 subs with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be hard to see out 90 minutes, depending on where you are in. I mean, all the places are going to be hot, let's be honest. You know,
They are,
a little bit of breaking news coming into us at talkSPORT. We understand that Kobbie Mainoo wants to leave Manchester United in January. We were chatting to...
he started laughing about Kobbie Mainoo. Did you see the press conference?
I didn't see it, no.
What happened was, it was sort of they said, why didn't you bring on some attacking players?
Yeah. So
somebody said, what about... He said, well, I didn't have any. So then he said, the reporter said, what about Kobbie Mainoo? And he just started laughing.
Wow.
It's just not a great sign, is it, really?
Well, I mean, we were talking to Jay Motley about it the other day from the Stretford Paddock, the YouTube channel, and I think he's a bit flabbergasted that he doesn't get more game time. I mean, I think he's a great player, but I understand. I don't know what you think. I mean, apparently Bayern Munich and Napoli are interested in him.
Yeah, I think if he's been advised correctly, and he obviously has 2 things that spring out: young players, you want to get out and play, and secondly, you know, the time is ticking in terms of the getting into an England squad. So if you can get a move in January to one of the teams mentioned, you know, Bayern Munich would be amazing. You have half a good season in Germany. Everybody's talking about you, or going off to Serie A, which is, of course, a regular haunt these days for Premier League players that not quite getting into their teams. Then there's every chance that the talent that he is, if he settles in, that he'll put pressure. But it's difficult. That holding midfield area for England now is absolutely stacked. The likes of Wharton, Elliot Anderson, Rice sitting. You've got a number of options. So it's going to be very difficult for him. But I applaud the fact that a young player wants to go out and say, not only do I want to go and play every week, but I want to get in that England squad when it comes to the final 20-odd being picked.
He obviously just doesn't fit the profile from Ruben Amorim's point of view. I mean, they're desperate for good midfielders, and they're looking to strengthen there, but he clearly doesn't fancy him, does he?
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure why that is, because a lot of Amorim's style and swagger when he came from Sporting Club was about, you know, whether it be getting players forward from wide fullback positions. They've obviously spent big on attacking additions, the likes of Kunius, Šeško, is that you need somebody to be able to sit in and you know, drive everything. And when we saw sort of Kobbie Mainoo break onto the scene, he did that. He gets it, he gives it, his positioning is very good. He can go and join and knit things up in the final third. So maybe it'd be a clash of egos. I couldn't imagine so, because he's a very young lad who would take instruction very well. But I think that now he would have obviously sat down with his friends, with his family, and said, look, I really want to try and get into the England squad. And more importantly, I want to be playing week in, week out. So the fact that he has an opportunity, hopefully, to do that rather than sitting on the bench, because let's be perfectly honest, coming on for 10, 15 minutes here and there, playing the odd FA Cup game, is not a good pathway for a youngster to be on. So let's hope he gets out there, proves his worth, and that we're having a conversation towards the end of the season that he's absolutely blitzed it in the Bundesliga or Serie A.
Yeah,
I don't know what you make of Manchester United. It was a strange game last night. It was the least exciting game of the whole weekend, the whole midweek fixtures, and they're still stuttering, aren't they, United? They're still... West Ham definitely miles better under Nuno. They're so much more competitive, so much harder to beat, but that wouldn't be difficult where they came from. But
I guess...
You go on, Tim.
Yeah, I guess the thing is, what's the identity? With most clubs and teams, you can see, you know, when Amorim came in, we know that he likes to play a certain way, and he said this is going to be how it is, come what may. But you can't see any sort of fruits of it. I still think, you know, I think that Cunha, when he's played, has been exceptional, for example. Xerxes has been sort of hit and miss, but he's been back in the fold. And you're thinking to yourself, well, where does this lad play? Is he a creative 10? Does he pop up on the left? Is he? And I just think that for all of the talk about Manchester United having this blueprint from the manager, the way that they want to play, I'm still not seeing an identity where you go, that's a classic Manchester United performance. when you look at any of the other teams near the top, whether it be Chelsea, whether it be Villa, as a classic example, Villa at their very best, they go and press high, they go and press often. You've got a midfield of players like Boubacar, Kamara, Onana, Tielemans that are very hard working, and they'll play through you, get the ball wide, put the ball in box. Ollie Watkins scores. I'm not seeing any regular pathways where Manchester United are really going to hurt teams. So look, he seems to be one step forward, two steps back with Amorim. We're going to do obviously the Fields panel, and one of the games I think is Wolves against Man United, and they're unbeaten in the last 4, Manchester United. But you also wouldn't be at all surprised if Wolves, dog of a run that they're in, got something at home against them. So look, for Manchester United, it's a work in progress, and when you have such a huge juggernaut of a club that needs turning round on and off the pitch, it's going to take time. Arsenal have had time. They gave Arteta time. It's a project. It's a work in progress. Yeah. We get it. But in terms of the on-field, what are Manchester United? I can't see what they are at the moment, and I think that's the most damning indictment on Amorim at the moment. That there's just no identity in what this Manchester United team tries to offer.
And finally, Stan, are you going to go to the World Cup? Are you planning to?
I am. I'm all over the double draws. It's bizarre because we knew all of the groups. But by the way, I want England to be in either C. They'll either be hopefully C1 or E1, which keeps us on the eastern seaboard. What we want to avoid is western seaboard, or those sort of dotting in and around from places like Vancouver to Guadalajara. So a bit of Boston, a bit of Philadelphia, and a little bit of Miami, please. That I would be very, very happy with that.
Very hot. But
very muggy, isn't it? Stan is sticking around, and we've got the Falls panel coming up. One of the listeners will join us. Ollie Klink's going to pop in, one of our commentary team, and we'll try and predict the scores of Villa, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Chelsea, and that game between Wolves and Manchester United. We're here with Talk Station. Get winter ready with heating and insulation essentials. Next stop, Talk Station.
So, we are almost ready to go. Ian Danter here in the commentary box. But it is all about whether Dean Saunders can retain the talkSPORT World Championship. to win the leg. She's got it! Gets it! Double 9! He refuses the handshake.
Time for the Falls panel then. Andy giving me bum information from the producer.
The producer. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help him.
Just giving me duff information. Also, one of the listeners said, carpet fitter for one day. Blimey, I don't think that makes you a carpet fitter, says Steve from Wincham.
Well, Steve, you've got a very good point.
Yeah, I've been going around telling people.
I've been a radio presenter for 26 years, and that doesn't make me that either.
No, ain't that the truth? Anyway, the Falls panel, we're going to try and predict the scores of 3 big games, 2 of which you'll hear live on talkSPORT and be updated with in terms of the Bournemouth-Chelsea game. And we get 3 points for predicting the scores absolutely correct, 1 for getting the outcome right, now for getting it wrong. And we have a league table that builds over the course of the season. We had a midweek special. How did we do? Well, Andy got 0 points.
I'm basically Wolves.
Yeah, you're having a mare, aren't you? We've got to get Rob Edwards in to kind of take you out to dinner and try and get everybody in the dressing room together. He's on 15. He's 6 adrift at the bottom.
Oh, dear.
Matt, the West Ham fan, joined us. He got 3 points. He was the star performer there on 21. Then it's me, just sort of messing about in mid-table. I got 1 on 26. Dan's represented the commentators and got 1. He's on 28, but no movement for Stan, who got 0 points. So he stays on 30.
I was as good as Stan last week.
He stays on 30. Yes, you've got to take that from it. So, let's say hello to our talkSPORT listener, Lee, the Hull fan. Hello, Lee.
Good afternoon.
You're on talkSPORT tonight against Borough. Are you going?
Yeah, season ticket holder. Hopefully we'll get a win tonight.
I went for a draw in our predictions. Yes, I think there's a because Borough are going pretty well at the moment, but now I think it's a bit of 1-1, but we'll see. Let's say hello to Ollie Klink, our commentator. Hi, Ollie.
Hi guys, how you doing?
You're going to be at the Bournemouth game tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Looking forward to it. I'll be with Alan Podgy as well, so looking forward to that. Should be good fun.
And, of course, Stan has stuck around. So let's crack on, shall we? Stan's going to lead us off. His club, Aston Villa, take on Arsenal. Stan.
Yes, Villa fans, the 1874 group of all Villa fans to take claret and blue scarves tomorrow. So that, along with the tifo, should make for a very nice sight for the early game. Aston Villa have won 5 of their last 12 Premier League games against Arsenal, as many as they had in their previous 45. Any Villa fan will tell you who we've got absolute horror records against: Liverpool, Manchester United and Arsenal. But we've done well in recent seasons. I'm going for Villa 1, Arsenal 1. Point apiece.
Okay. What do you think, Ollie?
Yeah, I think this is a tricky game, isn't it, for Arsenal? And they're still without Saliba and Gabriel, I think, and there might be an issue for Mascara too. So
Ben White can play there, Timber can play there. I guess that's why
they've got a lot of depth.
They've built the squad.
Rice is the one they can't replace. They haven't got anybody like him.
He's going to be all right though. Apparently
he's all right, but he needs. obviously he's playing a lot.
Sure, Anana will give him a dig within the first 5 minutes.
I'm going to go Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 1.
You know what? I'd written that down. Maybe there's a point of difference. Maybe I think I'm going to go with the fact there could be goals. I'll go 2 each, but I also think it's going to be a draw. Lee, the Hull fan, what do you reckon, Lee?
I'm going to go Villa 2, Arsenal 1.
Wow, that'll be a story. Okay, go for the Villa win. And Andy?
Well, I agree with Lee, because I think Arsenal have got to lose at some point. They can't just keep winning or drawing.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, they're due a loss, and they're playing.
Never heard of the Invincibles?
No, but they're playing. Well, yeah, but they're playing it. We beat them anyway in the Champions League. But that's by the by. I think Villa are on a great run. If anybody can stop them, they're probably the only team in the league at the moment that can. I think they will. I hope they do. 2-1.
2-1. So better.
I know. I am Mr. Hate Watch. Did you not realise that?
Andy
Mr.
Hate
Wishful
Watch
thinking.
Jacobs. TalkSPORT listeners home in the car. Next up, it's on Game Day Live tomorrow. Adrian Durham, Alan Pardew, Leanne Sanderson, and Ollie Klink. Bournemouth v Chelsea. What do you think, Stan?
Yeah, fascinating game, isn't it? Chelsea looking for a reaction. Bournemouth have been a little bit lukewarm recently. Winless in their last 7 Premier League games against Chelsea, the Cherries. And Chelsea are on the longest current scoring streak of any side in the Premier League, netting in their last 13 games. But only Arsenal have conceded fewer at home than Bournemouth. So tight, edgy. I think the Chelsea reaction after that Leeds game will just take them across the line. Bournemouth 1, Chelsea 2.
Right, okay. What do you think, Ollie?
I think Bournemouth are on a really bad run of form. They lost 4 of their last 5, and Andy might agree with me. I felt that Enzo Maresca made too many changes for the Leeds game. So I think if he brings back
changes he made, not so much the number, it was the people he brought in.
Exactly. So I think if he brings back the big guns, it should be pretty comfortable actually for Chelsea. So I'm going to go Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 2.
Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 2. Okay, I'd written 2-1 down. Do you know what? I'll change it. I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea. I do think they're going to win, so I'll go 1-0 Chelsea. What do you think, Lee?
I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea.
Okay, yeah, agreeing with Stan and Andy.
This is nailed on for Bournemouth. It's absolutely nailed on. They're definitely going to win. 2-1 Bournemouth.
Oh, Andy.
Chelsea are pathetic. You see them the other night. It's one of the worst displays I've ever seen. I thought they were absolutely abysmal.
Right, okay, well, I hope they're listening on the coach.
Well, they need to play a lot better than they did the other night.
Well, that's you told.
Yeah,
Cole Palmer on the coach. TalkSPORT listeners home in the car.
Mr. Sitter, really, when he came on. Yeah, well, it was a hard chance, but he should have scored.
He should. He would normally. But he's only just come back. Yeah. Anyway, Monday evening we bring you Wolves v Manchester United. Exclusively live. Stan, you want to kick us off on this one?
Yes, Wolverhampton Wanderers have lost their last 5 and haven't scored in the last 5, whereas Manchester United are unbeaten in their last 4 away Premier League games. Now, an interesting stat for you. Wolves on 2 points at this stage of the season, a tally shared with the equal lowest points at this stage of an English top-flight season. Name the club very briefly that they share that 2 points with.
Is it Derby or Swindon?
Is it Sheffield United?
No, English top-flight, so going all the way back.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Not Chelsea, is it? It'd drive him over the edge.
It's Manchester United in 1930-31, but there was 2 points for a win back in those days. So they share a rather unenviable record at the moment.
Yes, wow. I'm not sure that.
I'm going for Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Manchester United 3, by the way.
I don't think that'll affect Monday night, but there we go.
Ollie.
Yeah, I don't know why this is a tricky one given the form of Wolves, but you just don't know what you're going to get really with Manchester United. I'm going to go with their away form though, so I'm going to go Wolves 0, Manchester United 2.
Wolves 0, Manchester United 2. Dear Rob Edwards has been saying he wants to get a bit of a collective spirit and they will all go out for dinner and try and bond a bit, but it's been hard going, but they've created a few chances and not put them away. I think it's going to be a draw. I've gone 2 each. Lee, what do you reckon?
Hello, Manchester United.
Sorry, say that again?
2-1 Man U.
2-1 to Man U. Okay, fantastic. No nonsense there from Lee. Andy.
I think it's simple this. 2-0 United.
You're very confident. There's nothing down for Wolves, no?
It'd be good if there was, but I can't see it.
Yeah. Well, there we are. That was our Falls panel for today. Enjoy the game tonight, Lee. All the best.
Cheers.
There we are. There's Lee, the Hull fan. That game, Hull Borough, 8 o'clock tonight. Mark Wilson, Chris Owalamo and Hugh Woosencroft are the team bringing you that one exclusively live on TalkSPORT 2 in the Championship. Ollie, have fun at Bournemouth tomorrow with Pards.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, should be good fun.
And thank you, Stan. We'll catch up with you next week.
Up the Villa.
There we are. So that was the Falls panel once again.
That this week.
Now, in the world of boxing, this Saturday, Brits Shabazz Masood and Peter McGrail A headline in Monaco for the EBU European title with a stacked undercard featuring Pat McCormack and indeed Johnny Fisher. So you can watch that live this Saturday only on DAZN.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
Five drop catches for England on day 2 of the second Ashes test. Our cricket editor John Norman says it's a missed opportunity for Stokes and his team.
It means that instead of bowling Australia out and then having all the morning session tomorrow to bat through in the best conditions for batting in the day, Australia are going to come out tomorrow with a lead already of 44, 4 wickets in hand.
For all the reaction and analysis to a disappointing day down under, tune in to our Following On podcast. Now, we'll find out who England and Scotland have drawn from 5 p.m. with a special programme watching along on talkSPORT. Many still say that 48 teams is too many after expansion from 32, but Arsene Wenger, who's now chief of FIFA's global development, disagrees.
48 teams is the right number. It's less than 25% of 211 countries who are affiliated to FIFA. That means 1 team out of 4 has a chance to participate.
Meanwhile, his old club Arsenal might be suffering a mini injury crisis, and Mikel Arteta has admitted he's still not clear about who'll be available for tomorrow's lunchtime kickoff versus Aston Villa live on talkSPORT. Arteta's been asked this morning if fixture scheduling is affecting the quality on the pitch.
I don't know. I don't think we have to get to that stage, but the only thing I said is whenever it's possible to help and give the players an extra day or hours to fulfill the maximum potential, let's do it. That's it. We are ready from today for tomorrow's game, that's for sure.
And there are reports the Saudi Pro League will try and lure Mo Salah away from Liverpool with a big money move after losing his place in the starting lineup. The Egyptian international's been on the bench for the champions in their last 2 Premier League games, and boss Arne Slot says leaving Salah out will always be cause for discussion.
We have so many good players, and Mo has been such an exceptional player for us. So he's always, I don't know which word you use, but he's always in my mind to either start or to come in.
And Lando Norris says he has nothing to lose heading into this weekend's F1 season finale. He leads the championship by 12 points, with Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri both in with a shout. Get more at talksport.com.
Too much life running through my veins, going to waste.
That's, of course, Robbie Williams, and he'll be performing at the World Cup draw tonight. I don't know what he's doing. I think they'll go Route 1 will let me entertain you.
Half the Americans, they won't even know who he is.
What? Well,
he's not big in America, is he?
Yeah, he's pretty big in America.
I didn't think he was. Is
no, yeah, he did all right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't sure.
Oh, I mean, I think he's done all right in America. You wouldn't mind being a pound note behind him in America, Andy?
No, absolutely, yeah.
Anyway, he's in America at the moment, and you'll see him on stage tonight, but he did pop in to see Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent on Drive yesterday, live from Washington, and he revealed something quite interesting about our own Andy Goldstein.
He went to the Fast Show the other night, Saturday night, and we had to, at half-time, go from the box and go all the way through the theatre to go to this half-time room where there was, nibbles and stuff. He sent me out first as a buffer with the general public. Now, arguably, I am more famous than Andy Goldstein. Yeah. And I realised the second time that we did it, I looked behind me and he just got his head down like this.
See, there you go. That's the real you. That. How did you handle being a buffer?
I was all right, with it, but I did notice, and I did say it, didn't I?
Only
I did notice, and I did. On the second time, I was like, "You've sent me to be a buffer."
No. I think Andy would claim that he's more famous than Robbie Williams.
I think he'd like to.
No disrespect, as I say, someone who's probably not quite as famous as Robbie Williams, but still highly regarded amongst us here at talkSPORT, is our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. Good afternoon, Crookie.
Good afternoon, boys. Welcome to snowy Washington.
You gave me a heart attack. Yes.
Crookie's version of "Let Me Entertain You" though is fantastic.
Yeah, you are the king of karaoke, I understand. Do you ever do any Robbie Williams?
Well, listen, we can all belt out a bit of Angels, can't we?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I was speaking to Robbie before he joined the boys on Drive. Reminiscing about when he played in a testimonial game down at Fratton Park. I was there as a teenager for Paul Walsh, former Tottenham striker, and he described it as that was me pre-Angels. So I think that song changed his life.
Oh wow, yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
So let's start with that Kobbie Mainoo news. We were chatting to Stan Collymore about it earlier on today. We understand here at talkSPORT you brought us this story that he wants out is the frustration, and Andy was telling us, and he kind of laughed. Apparently Ruben Amorim, when his name was mentioned in the thing about needing more of an attacking option against West Ham. So what do you make of all this?
I think for me, this is one of the biggest sticks that Manchester United fans can beat Ruben Amorim with, and there are many. Again, the rigidness of the system, that the substitutions last night, I thought took the game away from Manchester United. But this is a club built on academy players, built on young players coming into the team. I think his treatment of Kobbie Mainoo has been a dereliction of duty, to be honest with you. This is a player who, at the last European Championships, came in and transformed England's midfield. He's not going to be on the plane by the time the World Cup comes around next summer because he's just not getting enough minutes at Manchester United. I don't understand it, and I think it's affected his confidence. When he does come on, he doesn't look like the same player he used to be. So on one hand, you say, well, he's not taking his opportunity. My view on it is the manager has completely shattered his belief.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those players. He's in that sort of midfield role. You've got to be quite metronomic. It's about getting your rhythm, knowing the players. It's very hard just to come on as a sub and sort of run it like that, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when you know that the manager doesn't fancy you. Bringing on Agate last night, who's another player, we spoke about this earlier in the week, who I don't think has a future at Old Trafford, but when he's getting on ahead of Kobbie Mainoo to try and see out the game, I think that tells you all you need to know. it's a difficult situation because the squad isn't that deep. As you mentioned there, my understanding is that Cobby is desperate to leave, as he was in the summer when United blocked a potential loan move. And it might be a case of history repeating because there is interest by Munich, Napoli, clubs like Crystal Palace, West Ham, Tottenham, Newcastle. Take your pick in the Premier League. But I don't think Ruben Amorim is keen to let anybody leave because the squad is so weak. But that's not ideal, is it? Because you've got a player there who is unhappy, a player that he doesn't have faith in, a player who isn't going to get any game time. At the moment, he's wasted the best years of his career.
Yeah, if they get him out on loan, though, they'll have a bit of flexibility with his wages. Slight concern for me, though, if he went to a club like Bayern Munich, any guarantee to play there either. I mean, they've got pretty high standards. He's going to have to play really well to break into their
Do you think it would
team.
be, they don't want another McTominay situation. So, I mean, do you think they'd like him out of sight, out of mind? They probably don't want him sort of rocking up in another Premier League team and playing well, do they?
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant point because, again, you look at the McTominay deal, it gets worse by the day as far as Manchester United are concerned. My understanding is their preference, if he does go, would be to go to an overseas club. And it's interesting that Cobby's preference seems to be to go on loan as opposed to leave Old Trafford permanently. Is that because he believes there's a possibility he outlasts the manager?
Yeah, I think that sounds sounds absolutely what it is.
Yeah.
Hedge your bets. Yeah, that's very true. So, we talked to Tim Vickery yesterday. He made the point, we can't really assess the draw today. We'll know who we're playing, but until tomorrow tea time, we won't know where we're playing. Or when we're playing, and with the temperatures out there and stuff, we're going to find out some of the story today, but it really will be tomorrow we get the full picture, won't it?
Yeah, it's slightly odd that the fact that they're waiting FIFA 24 hours before deciding the order of fixtures, obviously who is based where, which is going to be absolutely key. We expect England to have their permanent base down in Kansas, but that may depend on where they're pulled out, how much travelling is involved. I guess FIFA are keeping fans and players waiting. Maybe it adds a bit of anticipation to the draw, but I think most people would rather know exactly what happens once the draw is made today. But it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because I was asked for breakfast and for White and Jordan to assess England's potential group of death. I've come down on Norway, Morocco and Jordan as probably the most difficult draw that England can get, looking at the pots. And you have to be honest, and really there isn't too much, even if that is the worst case scenario, that should scare Thomas Tuchel.
He was a bit concerned about Norway, obviously. Haaland, I think, is what he meant.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean, have you done your group of death scenario and the best case scenario draws, Cookie?
Well, maybe I'm more pessimistic than optimistic because I've looked at the worst case scenario. I've not really looked at the best case scenario. But you look at some of the teams that are in there, the likes of Cape Verde and Jordan. Obviously, you would snap your hands off to get either of those. Curacao qualifying for the first time, Qatar qualifying for the first time because, of course, they were hosts at the last World Cup. So I think you take any of those. I guess the most dangerous team, if you look at the playoffs, potentially could be Italy, because if they win their playoff, they go into pot 4. So they would be one of the lowest ranked teams in terms of seedings. And I don't think necessarily you want to pull them out, would you? They can only draw one other European team, England. And actually that's quite key for Scotland because they're in pot 3. So if England come out and they pull out another European team from pot 2, and we know that Scotland won't be able to be paired in the same group.
Have you had a chance to do a bit of sightseeing there? You've gone and seen all the political stuff. You've gone down to the White House. So everybody, I was surprised it's not as big as you think it is it really?
Not now. He's demolished half of it.
Well, yeah, but before that, you imagine it being absolutely huge. But I mean,
that's Nuno Gomez.
I wasn't massively impressed. Oh yeah, Nuno Gomez, a proper nice thumbs up. Benty's who played with him? Scott Minto played with him at Benfica, didn't he? Yeah.
He did, and much to my disappointment, I asked Nuno about that, and he remembered Scott Minto, so that was slightly disappointing. I was hoping to give him a bit of stick for that, but there you go. That's me outside the White House. I don't know if you've got a picture of that.
Yeah, we've got Cookie's holiday
I did a little
photos.
bit of sightseeing yesterday. We've not had loads of time, to be honest, because I only flew in on Wednesday night. Went to the NBA last night. That was an experience, so that was quite one-sided because it turns out that Washington Wizards are not that magical. But yeah, that was great fun.
They're not much better than the Washington Generals, who lose to the Harlem Globetrotters every week at the moment. So, and you're back at 4:15. You're going to be with Adrian and the gang as in the build-up to the draw. Is that right?
I am. Yeah, and the anticipation and we're building them. Ben Jacobs is on the red carpet. I think he's spoken to Andrei Shevchenko and our own Ali McCoist, amongst others, so far. So the great and good are starting to arrive. This does feel like a massive occasion. We've got music from Robbie Williams, who we've been talking about, Nicole Scherzinger, Andrea Bocelli, and of course the village people. I mean, how old must they be now? The way the village people.
Yeah.
The village pensioners, they know.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Oh, yeah. They can get out of the village quite easy because we've got the bus passes, it's quite simple. But, that's... I mean, apparently they've set aside 2 minutes for Donald Trump's speech. Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, yeah, good luck.
He's going to get into a full Matt Ford ramble, I would imagine. He'll be going on for about... They won't be able to get him off. They have to hook him. And no one's going to be prepared to do that. Certainly not Infantino. So that's going to be running 10, 15 minutes late. But it's supposed to be 90 minutes with all the razzmatazz and the draw. Yeah. But, yeah, it's probably going to overrun, I would think.
Yeah, my flight leaves tonight, and hopefully, Donald Trump will have finished speaking by the time I get to the airport.
Nice one, Cookie. Thanks very much.
Cheers, boys.
There's Alex Crook there, our chief football correspondent. Back on drive with Adrian Durham and Stuart Pearce and Charlie Mulgrew and Alan Pardew and lots of others joining the guys. And at 7, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent out in Washington for the World Cup after party once we know the draw. And as we said, it won't be really till about 5 o'clock tomorrow that we know where teams will be playing and what the kick-off times will be. So we're going to head to the States now. Well, actually, we're going to head to Canada. That's where Todd Macklin lives. And we're going to look at the world of American sport. There was a game of football last night, and we'll tell you more about the dead baseball legend that, unbeknownst to him, obviously, ran for New York mayor. We're here with our very good friends at Tool Station. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Tool Station.
So, we are almost ready to go. Ian Danter here in the commentary box. But it is all about whether Dean Saunders can retain the talkSPORT World Championship. To win the leg. She's got it! Gets it! refuses the handshake.
Time then to talk American sports, as always, with Todd Macklin. Hey, Todd.
Hi, boys.
Well, we're going to kick off, as we always do in this slot, with last night's game in the NFL. And the Cowboys lost to the Lions 44-30.
Not been a great season.
Not looking great for the playoffs. So a lot of fallout from the game has been Micah Parsons, who they traded at the start of the season, their best defensive player, and they weren't particularly defensively sound last night. They feel that was a real turning point in the season.
Yeah, I gotta admit, as a Cowboys fan, a long-time Cowboys fan, over 40 years. Listen, did the Micah Parsons trade hurt? I think it hurt morale more than it hurt the defense. They've been a terrible defensive team, even with Micah Parsons the last few years. So I think they were going to be terrible again, even if they had him this year. So they're just, if you look at almost now 3 decades it's been since they won their last Super Bowl, they just have to find a way to lose, right? We talked about the great teams always find a way to win. The Cowboys find a way to lose. And last night, they're done now. I mean, it was still a long shot to make the playoffs, even if they won out. But they're done now. And you look back on this season, I look back on 3 games, and we were talking about Micah Parsons, his return. Remember Dallas, that was a 40-40 tie. Dallas should have won that game. You look at Carolina, they lost to Carolina on a field goal to end the game. Dallas should have won that game. And then Dallas lost at home to Arizona on a Monday night. Arizona has won 3 games out of 12 this year. Wow. Like, it's just criminal to lose a game like that to a team that is clearly inferior. So again, it's back to the drawing board, but I've said it many times on this show, as long as Jerry Jones, the owner of the team, thinks he makes good football decisions, they're just doomed for another season of failure next year.
Wow, way.
Yep.
Now, we were talking about this guy.
Losing to a team that you should clearly beat. Welcome to my world.
Yeah, and mine. Yeah. Charlie Smith is
he a Smith or a Smythe?
I think he's a Smith.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I think we might be chatting to him next week, funnily enough. He's kept his place in New Orleans Saints team as their kicker. He kicked last week. Todd, you can tell us. Apparently, one of the things he did was a kick that you don't often see in American football. I said it was one of the rarest kicks. Did you see that? Can you explain?
Yeah, it's the drop kick, right? Back in kind of the old days, they used to do the drop kick where you get the ball, drop it, and kind of kick it in one motion.
Yeah. And
also, the length of his field goals have been very impressive this year as well. Like, this is a guy, we've talked about it a lot on the show, where it's hard for these players from other sports, even something that's perceived as easy as kicking. Yeah. Kicking is not easy, right? And I don't care that you've kicked in another sport. It's not easy kicking in the NFL. The pressure to make field goals. I mean, you have a bad week and you're cut on a lot of teams. Now, what helps Charlie is he's playing for the Saints. They're losing a lot. Expectations aren't high. So, they're looking long term. They're looking big picture rather than kind of game in and game out. But this guy, I mean, again, has been really impressive in what is another lost season for the Saints.
I should have said at the top, of course, he came from Gaelic football. He spent 18 months. We've talked about him before because he spent 18 months on the sort of practice roster, and he's now got his chance, and he's kept his place in the team. But yeah, his skills came from his time in Gaelic football. Sorry, Andy, what were you going to say?
No, I just wondered if you saw, both of you, the New York Giants kick. I think it was from this week.
Well, he kicked the ground.
He kicked the ground, but he said he did it deliberately, didn't he? Because he thought the ball had moved, so he didn't. Was he allowed to retake the kick?
He was not.
Oh,
it was one of those, Andy, that they were watching. It's funny because the Manning brothers, they have that thing where they watch the game and they're on camera as the game's going on, and they have guests on, and they had Danny DeVito, the actor, was on with them when that play happened, and he just couldn't believe it. Danny DeVito's like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I got to admit, I've never seen it before either.
Yeah, that's right. He said, "What the hell was that, Danny DeVito?"
Yeah,
on the Manning show.
Was there an onside kick, a successful onside kick last weekend as well that I think I saw, which is very rare these days?
It is, especially with the new kickoff format too, right? Is been able to do that onside kick. Yeah, it's just because it's changed so much now. It's just not something that happens as much before as it did before. Like, you can't practice it as much. And yeah, it was successful. Again, it shows you the kicker. I think for many years it was, hey, the kicker's the guy who can't play any other positions. A lot of people would say not really part of the team, right? Just kind of kicked. And now these guys, I mean, the kicker for the Jaguars made a 68-yard field goal, the longest in NFL history. And now we're talking about possibly a guy making a 70-yard field goal. The Dallas kicker last night, first guy in history to make 3 kicks over 55 yards, including one over 60. Like, that sport or that position now is getting the light shined on it a lot. And I think it's great for those guys.
Now, a long-standing record went this week. It was LeBron James and the Lakers. He'd had a historic 1,297 game streak of scoring at least 10 points in an NBA game, but that came to an end. I think he just got 8 this week in a defeat. But he went back to January 2007, which is a pretty amazing record, Todd, isn't it?
Incredible. And it actually ended last night in Toronto. Right. The Lakers were in town to face the Raptors. To think that the streak lasted 18 years, like, that's incredible, right? Like, to have that kind of longevity in something. And I will say this, like, he had opportunities to get his 10 points. And I'll tell you, the last play of the game, the ball went to him. And instead of shooting, probably a lower percentage shot, he made a great pass. And his teammate hit the game-winning shot at the buzzer to win the game. LeBron, he doesn't do the heavy lifting, right, on the Lakers anymore, because they've got Luka Doncic and they got a guy named Austin Reeves who was sensational last night. So LeBron doesn't need to score 20, 30, 40 a night. Last night, though, he had 11 assists, and the biggest thing, guys, no turnovers. And that is such a key thing when you've got the ball in your hands as much as LeBron.
He's admitted feeling his age. He gave an interview saying,
no question.
His body, he said, I wake up in the morning and I'm getting like, I can't use the language. He said,
you can't need the money.
But I did another injury I didn't know about the night before, little niggly injuries. I mean, you kind of feel that this is going to be the final season, don't you?
Yeah, you wonder about it. But I will say the one thing that would go against that is they're 17-5, the Lakers. Like, they're the third best record in the NBA. So listen, if they have success this year, like, if they win, maybe it's pretty easy to walk off. But also, he knows he's got a generational player in Luka Doncic on the Lakers. Maybe he hangs around a little bit longer as a bit player. And it prolongs his career, maybe one more season after next.
Sports Illustrated decided to look back on January the 5th, 2007, the last time he didn't get those points. The iPhone didn't exist, they said. That tells you how long ago it was. And Donald Trump was midway between recording series 6 and 7 of The Apprentice. So that's how long ago it was. Yes, and finally, now this is a weird story.
Mad story,
this is about the mayoral election in New York. And we know that Zoran Mamdani won it. But what happens in mayoral elections is that they have this thing called write-in votes. And you're allowed to basically nominate somebody that you would like to vote for, and then you can vote for. You can just write their name in. And every year when they have these, you get lots of lists of people's favourite celebrities and sports stars. And that's what's happened this time. They've announced the sports stars that got votes. Somebody wrote down Carmelo Anthony's name, the former Knicks player, and voted for him. Saquon Barkley as well from the Giants. He got Jalen Brunson, still currently playing for the Knicks, Charlie's favourite player. He got a vote. Who else? Derek Jeter got one.
Yeah.
From the Yankees. Yeah. Aaron Judge got one. And Cam Scatterboo from the Giants now. He got one vote from one of the fans. But the best one and the maddest one was Lou Gehrig, the late, great Lou Gehrig, the Yankees player who sadly died in 1941. Someone decided he'd make a good mayor of New York.
Yeah, I think it's how much that New Yorkers still revere Lou Gehrig, especially people who could remember who he is, right? He was a guy that had the consecutive game streak, just a real classy guy, and probably that's what that person said. It's like, hey, here's a bygone era. Here's a guy that just was all about the right things and doing the right things. And that's why his name got listed.
It's a strange thing, isn't it, that you can just write a candidate on a ballot. They don't do that in Canada, Todd, do they, or not?
They do. Like, you can have write-in. You can write in people as well on ballots. Yeah.
I'll take it nobody's
voting for you.
Yeah, but imagine that. Imagine if Cam Scatterboo became the mayor of New York.
Yeah.
Everybody just got to. It's a bit like Boaty McBoatface, isn't it? I mean, there's always a danger it can get hijacked, this sort of thing.
Yeah, I just think because people, I think, have enough respect for the process, right? That's what it's built on. You have more people that have respect for the process than, as you mentioned, the 10 to 15 people that vote for their favorite New York sports star of all time, right?
Nice one, Tom. We'll catch up with you next week.
See you, boys.
Yes, Tom Macklin, a man on American sports. Paul from Harlow's been in touch, Andy. He said, cheer up, Andy. He said, it could have been worse. He said, I drove 4 hours up to Leeds on Tuesday to suffer one of the worst performances I'd seen in years. I'd have to go back to the dark days of the 80s to find a worse one. My car broke down on the way home, he says, making the highlight of the trip my mate's totally miserable face and non-stop rant, which didn't stop till we got the Watford gap, at which point he convinced himself that supporting Bromley was the way forward.
I think there was a sense of shock about how poor they were. You know how much they gave the other team goals.
I mean, I was out that evening, but I was driving back. And I was listening to Nigel Adley and Lucy Walder, our commentary team, and they were both saying that. They said Leeds have been so much better than Chelsea. They've been streaks ahead. I mean, it's like, and you just don't expect that, do you, really?
No, not really.
But Paul said he's off to Bournemouth and Italy on Monday for more punishment, he said. So, yeah, you're not alone. The village people are now known as the retirement village people, says Dave in Cheddar. Very good. Thanks for getting in touch this afternoon. Talksport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH and J. We got the clips of the week coming up very, very shortly.
England produce a floodlit fight back late on the second day of the second test, but still face a huge battle to stay alive in the Ashes after dropping 5 catches at the Gabba. However, no team has made as many as England's 334 in the first innings of a day-night test and lost. Australia finished the day's play on 378 for 6. Elsewhere today, 48 teams is the right number for a World Cup. So says Arsene Wenger, now FIFA's chief of global development. He's played down talk that more teams equals lower.
48 teams is the right number. It's less than 25% of the 211 countries who are affiliated to FIFA. That means 1 team out of 4 has a chance to participate.
Remember, talkSPORT will be carrying live coverage and analysis of the World Cup draw during Drive, with the official ceremony getting underway at 5. Elsewhere today, Ben Foster says he's a little concerned about the Manchester United mentality. The side drew 1-1 yesterday with a struggling West Ham. He says there's no clear path to victory when you're leading 1-0 with a few minutes left.
You can see the game out with possession by dominating the ball, dominating your personality over the other team, or you can happily sit back and you can do that kind of low block and let them have the possession, but let them know also that when you do get the chance to win the ball back, you're going to counter-attack on them.
Man United are next in action away to Wolves on Monday night, and that one's live and exclusive on talkSPORT.
Of the week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation.
talkSPORT Clips of the Week. Yes, it's Clips of the Week time, and we kick off, as we have over the years on a number of occasions, with Alan Bernard Brazil on breakfast with all the competition info.
Text costs £2 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 423. That's 0343 423 967. God, come on, we've not got an easier number than this.
It's just numbers.
It's just a collection of numbers. He must know how phones work, really, and how they...
Oh, give me an easier number. What would that be?
Yeah.
Anyway, sure, it was just a one-off mistake. I'm sure he'll nail it in a minute.
Yeah, oh yeah. It'll be fun.
Alan, for your chance to win, text WIN. No, I'm Alan. Take your chance to win. Text WIN to 8 See, I've got the triple thing in my head.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And we didn't get a lot of entries that morning, funny enough.
Oh, yeah, I wonder
no
why.
one could phone in. No, I'm Alan. That's good. It's good that he recognises that, isn't it? This is Sam Queck on Early Breakfast, struggling with the Arsenal manager's name.
Live here on talkSPORT tonight, and Mikel Arteta's team. Mikel Arteta has taken a moment to praise Declan Rice.
Who's Mikel Arteta?
I have no idea.
Is it in the Saudi Pro League?
Yeah, he is.
Mikel Arteta means no worries for the rest of your days.
They're a great team, Arteta.
I'm
right behind.
They are, yeah.
Anyway, to be fair, it's easier to get tongue-tied at 5 o'clock in the morning, as Katie Shanahan also proves.
And ahead of Sunday's game against West Ham, under pressure, Liverpool boss Arne Slot knows he's thin on ice.
Is he? He's quite fat on a solid subject. Yeah, but
it's been
on the ice. He's
been
quite
on the Monjara.
He probably won't fall through it. Like, he's got cuts, 5 o'clock in the morning,
Fair
for
enough,
good's sake.
yeah.
And
I'm
who
not too good at 1 o'clock.
No, that's very true.
Yeah,
and who better to join Jeff Stelling on breakfast to give his detailed, considered take on Chelsea versus Arsenal than the great David Seaman.
From yesterday's point of view, then, David, missed opportunity for Arsenal or a good point? What do you think?
And that's all he said.
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah, that was very much your take on the match,
It was
wasn't
really,
it?
yeah. And staying with Jeff, he had a question for co-host Gabby Agbon-Lahore.
Gab, you got an item of clothing that you couldn't be without? My paddle trainers.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. And like, blimey, he gave that some serious thought, Gabby, didn't he? Sounds like he's falling off a cliff, doesn't it?
That's really. Actually, there's a new breakfast presenter coming in, according to Sam Matterface.
Yeah.
And Rangers 0-0 with Falkirk after 22 minutes, and the Rangers legend Ali McCoy is on breakfast tomorrow with Jess Stelling.
Oh yeah,
Jess, I like Jess.
Jessica, she's lovely.
Jessica Stelling, she's one of our best. It's just a they're not related, funny enough. It's just a coincidence.
Great if she did like the women's football results coming in.
Staying with Sam, here he is coaxing one of Andy's favourite kind of clips out of a caller.
Right, let's get to some Liverpool calls. Start with Stephen. Hello.
Hello, Steve.
Yeah, you like them, don't you?
Yeah, hello,
you just
Steve.
like callers saying their name back, don't they? Yes.
Anyway, back to Big Alan and struggling with Andrew McKenna's breakdown of the Rugby World Cup draw.
Australia, Chile, and Hong Kong, China. Pool B is South Africa, Italy, Georgia.
Hong Kong, China.
Yes.
Where's the China bit come in?
Yeah, well, we've expanded to 24 teams this year, Al, so there's some new teams involved. Pool B...
Hong Kong, yeah.
Yeah, it was 1997 they handed it back. Alan's not seen... Is that right? Hong Kong? He was very excited about that.
Maxi Chung's in charge.
Oh, good old Maxi Chung. Oh, yeah, that's...
Love a Ruby.
Yeah, well, you'll hear that again.
More of that Christmas.
Hear that on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And this is me, believe it or not, crossing to newsreader Will Hobbs, who's been getting a bit cocky, in my opinion. Anyway, let's get the the sports headlines now with Will Hobbs.
Thank you, Paul. Watch and learn.
You're all right, mate. We can all make mistakes, can't we, now and again? All I said was news head. Far too cocky, old Will there.
This is Shabana Hearn now with Cass on Weekend Breakfast, getting a touch confused as they chatted to their horse racing expert.
The bet of the day is General Medrano in the last race here, who was a baddie in James Bond.
Oh, right. What do you mean? Well,
A baddie, you know.
he was the bad guy.
General Medrano, not the horse
name.
himself.
No,
the name.
I was like, wait, the horse
No, he'd be
was
quite
in
old, I
James
think.
Bond?
I think we would have remembered that Bond.
Yeah.
I mean, what
From Red Rum with Love.
Yeah,
Tremendous
that's
film.
it. Yeah, it would have been fantastic. A horse as a Bond villain, marvellous. It'd have to be like Mr. Ed, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah. Anyway,
this is Sam Matterface during commentary with one we're calling "Everything All Right at Home." Sam.
The thing about Paris is you can always romanticise it. It's a quick getaway, you throw off the shackles of the everyday, you can be a little bit freer and more expressive. Yes, everything looks a little bit rosier in the city of love and passion. But eventually you have to come home and deal with the harsh realities.
You're right, Sam. Everything okay?
I think he was referring to Spurs, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he probably was. And then he drove to Dundee barefoot while eating a whole Toblerone.
Oh, no.
Poor old Sam.
Anyway.
And finally.
Yes, and finally, it's Simon Jordan talking football.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they were auditioning for the title. I think they're auditioning for being a very competitive side that are knocking on winning a Premier League.
Yeah, knocking on winning the Premier League.
Sure,
And you're probably thinking to yourself, because you know we like to occasionally end with a musical number, seamlessly incorporating a talkSPORT presenter. Well, I think this week our production team have absolutely excelled themselves. I challenge you to hear the edit. I challenge you to spot the join as we bring you Bob Dylan and Simon Jordan together at last.
Feel I'm knocking on heaven's door.
Knocking on
heaven's door.
Knocking on
heaven's door.
See what I mean? It's fantastic, isn't it? Let's have another one.
Knocking on.
I can't spot it. I don't know about you.
It's tremendous. I thought he was on the original track.
Our assistant producer Alex presented it to us earlier on, and I said, "Its terribleness is its strength, really." And his old bottom lip was going.
I know, he's a little bit upset, but I liked it.
Yeah. Anyway, so there we are. We should thank everybody who suggested clips this week. Wolves Kong, Sue Perman, I'm not saying Superman, grow up.
Superman. That's
Nick
ridiculous.
Ellaby, Adam in West Brom, Bill Kilgore, Nat Good, David Clark, Glyn Barrington, Alex Harvey in Stockton. Oh, I used to love Alex Harvey.
Yeah,
Not necessarily the one in Stockton.
Yeah.
Matt Lorenzo, thank you, Matt. Stula Kingston and Dav Mendy. Okay, well, thanks to everybody who's suggesting clips. If you hear a clip on TalkSport in the next 7 days, please do send it in to us, talksport.com/H&J. You can text it to 81089. You can tweet to TSH&J, TSHANDJ. As always, we need a day on a time when you heard it go out, so we've got a fighting chance to track it down. And, we'll give you a credit like those guys. If you want to hear the clips of the week again and a whole previous back catalogue of clips of the week at your leisure, that's available as a podcast in around 15 minutes' time. Just go and check out wherever you get your podcast, look for TalkSport Clips of the Week. And the H&J Daily, which is our daily podcast that we put out every day, the best bits of the show. We've got a really interesting chat with a Scotland fan who has booked 22 hotel rooms in the USA, Canada and Mexico, hedging his bets ahead of the draw, live on TalkSport later on. So you'll hear that. And Harmy, who came off his long run on the England cricket team, which was very interesting. So just some of the content. And Andy's day as a carpet fitter, let's be honest. It's all covered in the H&J Daily podcast again, wherever you get your podcast. Just go and check it out. So we end then hearing from some of the gaffers ahead of the weekend's big games, and then we'll be building up, of course, to that World Cup draw. We'll head over to Adrian Durham and the gang at 4, and then the draw is underway at 5, and all the fallout with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent in Washington at 7 for the after party. We're here, as always, with our very good friends at Toolstation, and you can pick up your wet weather essentials today. Next stop, Toolstation.
Clips of the week on TalkSport with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation.
almost ready to go. Ian Dancer here in the commentary box. But it is all about whether Dean Saunders can retain the talkSPORT World Championship.
To win the leg. She's got it! Gets it! Double 9! He refuses the handshake.
Now, talkSPORT has teamed up with Pitch Experiences to bring you an all-out VIP experience at the PDC World Darts Championship at Alexander Palace on the 23rd of December. You and 3 mates could be living it large with platinum seats, fine dining, a complimentary bar, and exclusive access to the 501 lounge with Russ, the voice Bray. Then it's straight to your prime table for the best view in the house as the darts drama unfolds. I've had a bit of this 501 lounge a couple of years back. Nice? It's sensational. Yeah, and I had a chat with Russ there, so you'd have a brilliant time. This is a great competition. So get ready for an unforgettable Ali Pali Christmas. Here's how to enter, Andy.
Thank you.
Tell me.
Yes, for your chance to win, text darts.
He had his own copy.
Seamless, but I can't find it. No. Text darts to 83338. Text costs £2 plus your standard network rate. Or call 0343 421 7508. 0343 421 7508. Lines close 4 p.m. 18th of December. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. And we won't answer if it doesn't ring. 18 plus UK residents only. For your chance to win, text darts to 83338 right now. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com.
Russ popping in to see us in the studio, I think on Monday as well. Yeah, look forward to that. So, let's bring you some of the managers' pressers ahead of the weekend's football. Before that, though, Ben Jacobs is on the red carpet ahead of the World Cup draw. It's a white carpet. It's apparently snowing really heavily, and all the journos have been locked outside.
They've taken an hour to get in, apparently, and they're freezing. Miguel Delaney of the Independent says thanks to the Secret Service. Tremendous.
Yeah, marvellous. Well, Ben Jacobs caught up with Andrei Shevchenko, formerly of Chelsea, of course, and he was saying how proud he would be if Ukraine make it via the playoffs to the World Cup.
Gonna be over the moon because for us it's very important and is a two objective. First, it is a big stage to competing against best team, and our football players, our athletes, dreaming to play in the World Cup. Last time Ukraine qualified in the World Cup 20 years ago. We have also something more special for our people in such a difficult moment when war is going on. I know how important for Ukrainian people to see sport number one in Ukraine is the football. The football player gonna represent country in such an important event.
There we are. Yeah, it would be a fantastic story. Over the moon. It's great, some of the phrases that he picked up while he was over here playing for Chelsea.
That's right.
Kobbie Mainoo wants to leave Manchester United in January, we understand here at talkSPORT. He doesn't believe he's got a future at the club. It's interesting, though, as Alex Crook was telling us, he only really wants a loan, maybe feeling that there could be a change of manager at some point and he could come back and play again for a club he loves. Yeah. He's been struggling for minutes this season, and Amorim has said he won't be pressurised into starting Mainoo.
My job is to answer, but I'm trying to answer always the same thing, and you ask me always the same thing. I understand what you are saying. You love Kobbie, he starts for England, but that doesn't mean that I need to put Kobe when I feel that I shouldn't put Kobe. So it's my decision.
Yeah,
okay, well, let him go then. If you don't fancy him, just let him go.
They wanted to keep him last time.
Really not fair on the boy.
It doesn't seem it, does it? Liverpool take on Leeds tomorrow night, and Arne Slot was asked if there's been any positives to take from their recent games.
We did not concede a set piece in both games, which is also important. As a result of that, maybe we got 2 results. And I think there are also positives to take from the players we've brought in during the summer that I see they are getting more and more consistent in their performances. Florian is maybe the most obvious one, but I see the same with Milos Kerkez as well. Alex scored his first goal a game ago. So, yeah, there are positives to take, but of course still not where we want to be. Let that be obvious and clear. But there are also, compared to where we were after the last 2 losses with 3-0 and 4-1, there are also things that we've done better.
Just time to squeeze in one more. Pep Guardiola reflected on his 10 years at the club and talked about how he's found living in Manchester the past decade.
You tell me reflect after 10 years, how was my experience or what I live here? I don't have enough words to express what I live. You know, mainly good moments, but bad moments as well. The incredible people I met here. So, have been an exceptional journey, I would say. All I can say. Have been top.
Well, it's the longest he's spent at,
amazing.
Apart from Barcelona, obviously. So, lots more you're hearing from the managers, I'm sure, throughout the evening. But our focus now turns to the World Cup draw. Adrian Durham is your ringmaster for that. Lots of guests joining him, both in the studio and over in Washington, where the draw's being held. And then at 7 o'clock, after the draw is done, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent, live in Washington for the after party, chatting to lots of top guests about the draw. As we said, we won't find out where and when teams will be playing, kick-off times and the stadiums they'll be playing in until tomorrow, but we'll certainly know whose group we're going to be in, England and Scotland, and hopefully the other home nations and the Republic as well via the playoffs. So enjoy the draw. We'll catch up with you on Monday. Enjoy the football and more on talkSPORT this weekend. And Adrian Durham is up next.